a lot of the laws of the land are from the Bible. I mean, that kicked it off. I mean, there was laws before, obviously, and there were different gods before this one was invented. But let's have a look at the 10 Commandments.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just going to go through. I'm just going to go down these, see which ones I commit. Thou shalt have no other God. I don't have any God, so I haven't broken that one. 2, graven images. No, I don't have any graven. I don't accept there's a God. 3, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord. Again, I don't take his name in vain because I don't believe he exists, so I'm fine there. Remember the Sabbath. I always remember Sunday. I know I've got a calendar and everything, so I haven't done that one. Honour thy father. Yeah, I do that. Never commit adultery. Don't do that.
Have you killed anyone?
No, never killed anyone. Don't steal. I don't lie, and I don't covet. So I am an amazing Christian.
Pretty clean. Yeah, you're a pretty clean living guy.
Wow. There you go.
Well, whereas, I don't know, Carl, have you ever... What's your view?
I still open, like, post that isn't for me.
Why do you open other people's mail?
But it's just a fella called Bruce, who, he's the bloke who used to own the flat before me. And, I don't know, I started off and I thought, oh, should I pass it on? You know, because when people move, it's a lot of messing about, tracking down where they've gone. So I thought, should I just leave them for a bit? And I collected some for a bit. And then there was one that sort of said, this is important on the front of it. So I thought, how important is it? So I opened it.
What was it? Was it important?
Not really, it was from a tattooist.
What did they say?
It was just something
They
about...
said, oh, we used the AIDS needle on you. Yeah. Can you come in for a little test?
So I just started... I just kind of thought, oh, I'll start opening it, having a look. And it was weird, because... Do you know, like, how you get fed up of being yourself?
No, but go on.
Well,
I'm intrigued.
Of course.
No, you can just have days where you're like...
I wish I was
going
Brad
on?
Pitt, yeah.
Well, you know...
Bruce Willis in your case,
well,
isn't it?
Well, this bloke was Bruce. So I just go, oh, let's see what... You know, if I was Bruce,
Yeah.
would I be happier being him? Do you know, like I've said to you before, you never know if you don't feel well because they can't put you in someone else's body to sort of compare. So I think, well, would I enjoy being Bruce more?
Sure. And what have you gleaned from Bruce? He's got a tattoo, we know that.
There wasn't that much. It was mainly busy at Christmas. A lot of Christmas cards, which were good because I didn't get that many.
Yeah.
So you put up these Christmas... You put up these Christmas cards.
You had Christmas cards hanging in your flat to have a lovely Christmas, Bruce. Auntie Jean. That's crazy.
Well, hang on a minute, because when you put them on your mantelpiece or your shelf or whatever, you're not looking at them every day. It's just a picture of Father Christmas. It doesn't matter who it's to or from.
But why have them up at all?
Well, why not just buy some
make
blank...
it a bit Christmassy.
You can just buy some blank cards and put them up.
Use them every
There's no
year.
point I have to. Bruce has got a lot of friends. It was more awkward, right? Because the bloke downstairs, because I used to always collect the stuff for Bruce, I got talking to a bloke who's in the same block, and like he used to see me picking stuff up for Bruce. He'd always say, you know, all right, Bruce.
No!
And you've never told him that you're not Bruce?
Well, no point.
I have a fascinating tale to tell you, Carl. I think you'll be intrigued. When I do junkets for films in America, I was assigned a security, and I've had security before. Often have security, they just sort of get you in and out of the car, and usually just to control sort of autograph hunters and things. But this time I was given a security, and he came in a suit. He looks about 30. He looked quite unassuming. I thought he was from just a security firm. It turned out that he was actually LAPD, who was doing this for celebrities because he earned more money. And then I found out he had a gun. So I can't come in the airport with you. I can't take my gun. So he's armed. So I've got a security who's an LAPD who's armed, and I'm fascinated. Now I'm fascinated. This man is walking around with me with a little earpiece, talking to everyone. He seems to know everyone, and he's got a gun. Then one night he said he dropped me off at the hotel, and he said, I've actually been called. I've got to go on a mission. They need my help. I said, really, what is it? He said, it's a hostage situation. He said, and I'm also SWAT. And I was thinking, oh God, it's just a silent hero. So next day, I said, how was it? He said, it was fine. He said, I just turned up. He said, I had to do it in my suit. He said, because I'm the negotiator.
What?
So I went, oh my God. And I just asked him questions for 2 hours. What do you think of that, Karl, as a job? It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, once you've done one, though, it's like any job, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah.
Once you've done one.
Yeah,
Not impressed?
Boring, yeah.
No, it's good.
Could you do it? Do you reckon you could do it? Do you reckon you could negotiate someone out of a hostage situation?
Well, I
With your
think in one of
dulcet
them
tones?
things, there's nothing you can do. It's like, it doesn't matter if it goes wrong, because
Well, it
you
does.
did your bit. No, it's like being a vet, isn't it?
Not really. Not really, because well, that's what
No, it is. What I mean is, you're expected to
No,
make a little kitten live.
No, there's loads of that. Because I was saying, so he says, I need a car by 5 o'clock, or I'm going to kill someone. He then makes sure that he doesn't kill anyone, but he makes sure that car doesn't come till 5:15.
But he's not bothered, is he? If
He
it's
is
15
bothered.
minutes late.
He is, because he really takes a he empathises with these guys, and he says, no, you've got to understand.
No,
He
but the
says-
fella in the house with the gun,
Yeah.
he's not going anywhere. 15 minutes either side doesn't matter. Why is he in a rush?
I don't think Carl's getting how
Not sure he
important,
is.
how
No,
amazing
not
he
sure
is.
you said
Yeah.
they make the car 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
He's getting his car. That
Yeah,
bloke's not in a rush.
He's never going to get in the car, is he? And he has to get in their head. But to do that, he says that he has to empathise with them to a certain extent. He has to understand why they're doing it, to talk to them and go,
Yeah, you've had a bad day. That would send anyone.
but he has to get their trust. Carl, try and talk me out. You think it's that easy? Right, I've got a hostage situation, right? They go, there's only one person we can ask for. Get me Karl Pilkington. The police know that you're their top man, and there's a guy in here, he's got a gun, he's got a hostage, okay? He's just done a crime. They don't know what to do, okay? Right. You turn up. What's your first question to them?
I'm talking to you.
Well, no, you got to
Right,
assess.
I'd say right. I think there's a saying. Actually, you say, "Where's brass?" Right.
Right.
I found that out. I heard that. I overheard that.
What's that?
It was something.
You're wasting time. It was that bull cunt that's just turned up. I'm gonna fucking kill it.
Right. Where's brass?
What does it mean?
I heard it at school when they.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking
Can I
about.
just you? What?
It means I heard someone use it on the.
Well, I don't know what the fuck it means.
It
All I
means
know-
the top person
Right.
of the police who are around at the moment.
Yeah, well, sure, I'm the fucking top brass here. I've got a fucking gun against this kid's head. Who the fuck are you, bald little shithead? Where's my car?
What car?
I've asked for a car. Where's my fucking car? Am I talking to you now, am I?
Yes, you are.
Are you the negotiator?
Yeah.
Right, get me a fucking car.
Where do you want to go?
I'm fucking sore from shouting. Throw a phone through the window so I can talk to you over the phone.
No. All right. In a minute.
Don't ever fucking say no to me.
In a minute. I said.
Okay. Right, the clock's going. Where's this fucking phone?
listen,
I've got a
just
sore
hang on a
throat.
minute.
Why are you putting the phone through, you dopey cunt? You want to talk to him?
Because I don't want to give you a phone straight away. You said you've got to delay him.
No, you've got to talk to them. They shouldn't even demand a phone. You should make sure you've got a phone, you dopey twat.
Give him a phone.
Right, thanks. All right, how's it going? That's better.
Right.
Right. Who are you, by the way? Who are you? Bruce.
I can't give you them details.
Well, you can, because I've got to trust you, dopey sod. Are you police, or just some fucking cunt walking by?
I'm a policeman.
Right, I don't trust policemen.
No, but I'm a bit higher than that. So listen.
Oh, don't you tell me I'm laying down the law here.
I'm going to shoot someone unless I get a fast car. I've done a robbery. It's all gone wrong. You're after now, but I want a car to the airport. I want a plane standing by.
You don't know me, but I do this a lot. Right? And I can tell you that it never works out right. Do you know anyone who's done what you're doing and is now living a happy life?
Well, I don't care. I don't care about living anyway. I don't care about living out. I don't care if this goes wrong, because I'm going to shoot the hostage.
What's your problem?
I'm just...
So you got the wrong attitude, mate. I think you've got the wrong attitude here.
No, but this is... to be honest with you, this was my last week.
Why are you sending him that?
Because I want to bring him down to my level.
Right. What's that got to do with it?
Well, you know, I've done this job for a long time.
Right.
And sometimes I felt like you. I've
Right.
been, you know, even though I'm on this side, you know, sometimes I feel like, oh, I've had enough of this.
Right, well, I haven't enough. But I'll tell you, I don't care about living or dying here. So if I don't get a car to the airport, all bets are off. I'm killing everyone and then myself. So you'll be a big loser. Now you've got to get him to stand near a window. You've got to take him out because I've got a gun to someone's head. You can't burst in, right? You've got what? Come on, how do you get him to stand near a window?
Oh, I bet you're hot in there.
Keep going.
I am not. Yeah, that's why I've just drawn the curtains and keep away from the window because the sun's blazing in. It's not too bad away from the window.
It's, the sun's gone round the back now. Just come and have a look. It's a lovely, lovely evening.
Why do you want me to stand near a window?
I think just because when you see how nice an evening it is.
Worst load of drivel ever.
When you see how... Keep going, I'm interested. When you see how...
No, it's that thing. I've heard that if you smile, you feel better.
So have a little smile. Think of a happy moment in your life.
I'll tell you what a happy moment in my life would be. Putting a bullet through your little round head, you cunt.
Keep thinking about that image.
Right.
And you can see that round head. Just come to the window, I'll show you the round head.
That would probably work, actually.
What? No, I'm not going to come near the window. You come near the window. You come near my window. Let me come. Are you coming near the window?
No, not yet.
Where?
Delaying it again.
Right, I'm coming near the window.
Well, I'm going to shoot you if you come near the window, you dopey prat.
Why?
I thought we were getting somewhere here.
No, I'm going to shoot you. I've conned you. I've negotiated you to come near the window, and I'm going to shoot you in the head, you prat.
I'd just leave then.
I think it's probably best, Rick, if we return to the very beginning of time, the dawn of man, because, of course, even in primitive, prehistoric ages, medicine was practiced in some ways from the research people have done, cave paintings and the like. Karl, I wonder if you would just give us your initial thoughts on, the medicine of the ancient world.
You sound like you haven't studied it, or you're being...
You're being modest.
You're being modest?
I never really thought about it. I know that Tutankhamun,
Tutankhamun?
he died of having a knee injury. So they didn't have that much medicine knocking about back then.
Right, where do you get this information from? It sounds vague.
He came off a chariot. They're dangerous things.
He came off a chariot?
Honestly. You're going to make yourself look daft here, because that's what happened.
Imagine that. In a room with Karl Pilkington, we make ourselves look daft. How would we have to... that would be incredible.
Shall we move on to the ancient world in terms of Egyptians, the Greeks, the Romans, of course, because they made huge advances, particularly the Romans, who understood, of course, the importance of sanitation. You know, famously, their streets were clean.
Yeah. Don't you think that if we hadn't have cleaned up as much, that, I don't know, we'd be stronger?
What? Well, I know what you mean. Yeah, they say let your kids eat dirt. Yeah, of course. Well, that's exactly what immunisation is, giving you a bit.
Yeah, but
of
it's
the
gone
disease.
mental now. Whenever a baby's born, he's drugged out of his eyeballs. Someone got a week old, they're giving all sorts of shots.
Like what?
Loads of stuff for whooping cough.
Yeah, you don't want whooping
sugar
cough.
lumps.
Tutankhamun could have died of whooping
No,
cough.
but did you give it loads of stuff, and now it's like I don't know. It's making us weak.
There's this big thing, you know, like the superbug, where people took half the course of antibiotics. It was almost like an immunisation to the bacteria and virus against the antibiotics.
That's what I mean.
So, yeah, we need some germs, as you'd call them. But there are some that we have eradicated. I mean, I think it was in our lifetime that they eradicated smallpox from the world.
There are rumours, of course, that both Russia and America still have the smallpox virus under lock and key, which they could theoretically breed and use in a chemical warfare situation.
Well, there was a bit of a scandal a few years ago, I think 10 years ago, where in a university laboratory, someone came across a marked yoghurt pot in deep freeze that had smallpox in it.
When you say it was marked, was it like someone's put their name on it because they don't want someone to eat smallpox yogurt?
No, I think they looked into it, and it was the deep frozen smallpox virus. What I mean is, it's under lock and key or frozen at minus
So that's not
200
good
degrees
enough,
centigrade.
is it?
Why?
Under lock and key and all that. It's not good enough. Get rid of it. Why are they keeping a little tub of smallpox knocking about?
Well, are they not meant to be?
Well,
No,
that's
but
a
what was he doing
lesson.
there in the first place? To me, that's like in James Bond, where they don't kill him when they have the chance. He's always that little thing of, let's play with danger, let's keep a bit.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Pop it
probably...
next to AIDS in the Kiora bottle. I don't understand why you'd store that.
Well, there's probably a presumption, it's probably an overhang from the Cold War, where people were thinking, well, listen, what if Russia's still got some smallpox? We better hang on to some smallpox.
It's just clutter, though, as well, isn't it? You see, we're obsessed. We're keeping stuff. And it's the same with germs. We can't even say, get rid of that. We won't be needing it. Smallpox. We'll keep it just in case. Get rid of it. We've got this obsession thing again. It's saving everything.
You say that, but of course, famously Alexander Fleming discovered what may be the most important breakthrough of the 20th century, which was the first antibiotic, I think, in 1928. And he discovered that because he left a bit of old bread out for a while and it went all mouldy in his kitchen. And he thought, oh, what's that? Oh, let's have a look.
Like I've said to you before, it's down to him being scruffy more than anything.
No.
It just seems like there's a lot of scruffy kitchens around.
But think if his cleaner had come in and gone, oh, Mr. Fleming, you disgust me, you fucking filthy scruffy cunt. I'm going to throw all this bread away. He's going to go, Maud, what did you do with that old bread I left out? It'd gone green, sir, so I chucked it away. Oh, Maud, you dopey fucking slut. You've just caused millions and millions of people to die. Keep out of my fucking kitchen.
I know, but don't put it there. It's the same way smallpox in a yogurt pot. It's in a yogurt pot.
Well,
you're asking for trouble.
But what if Maud had come in and thrown that away? Again?
He couldn't shout at her. She's doing a job. I'd be annoyed if it was still there.
Yeah.
You just don't put, like, yogurt pots with smallpox in the fridge.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a starter.
Yeah, but you were saying earlier, let's let babies eat mud, don't inject them.
Yeah. But
let them crawl around a dirty floor, clean up the floor and no one would die.
I did say that, but we've gone too far now. Babies are coming out mad. Oh. They can't handle anything now. They've got the runny nose, they're coming out all mardy. Get ill. Yeah, they get ill easy. Because they're not tough babies anymore. We're ending up with a load of weak people who need looking after all the time. That costs a lot of money. And they can't do anything, they're useless. Now, that doesn't happen in other nature. If a little weak bird is born, you see Bill Oddie saying that won't last. He says that won't last a week. And he's right. You watch it and he says, oh, that third baby that came out, it died. And
but what's your point, Carl? That modern medicine, which can help people live to the age of 75, 80, that it shouldn't be doing that? It should let people just die off?
Well, here's something, right? The estate that I grew up on, there's a woman there.
Yeah.
Scruffy Sandra.
I like her already! Oh, it's great, it's so descriptive. Now, she had no chance, even if she cleaned up her act. Yeah. She'd come in looking like Pretty Woman. You go, all right, Scruffy.
No,
what's the point? What is the point?
So the thing is, she used to always get on these buses called dialer rides that were sort of like posh taxis. You could call for one, it'd come round to your house, and it would pick you up and you'd pay like 50p.
But it would pick up a bunch of other people as well.
Yeah, on the way. So it would take ages to get to where you go.
That is.
No, it's good though. It's kind of a bit of a day out. Old people used to love it because you'd get to see things.
Right.
And you'd hear a call coming in on the radio that, Scruffy Sandra's being picked up.
Oh, God.
And she'd always have loads of bin bags with her for some reason. Now, the thing is...
Well, she sounds clean.
No, she stunk.
Well, she's taken out the bin bag. Was she homeless?
No, she wasn't homeless. No, she used to just... she just didn't bath and that. She just stunk. But the weird thing is...
Why do they call her Stinky Sandra?
She never was ill.
Right.
People didn't sit next to her.
Yeah.
Because she stunk.
Yeah.
Now, because of that, anyone who might have had a bit of flu or a cold never sat next to Scruffy Sandra.
Right.
Because she stunk. But that was good. That was like a protection thing for her, because she knew that because she stunk, no one wants to sit next to her, she wouldn't pick up the germ.
Right. Now, but this is quite... Your point is, in order to fend off illness, you have to not bathe. And so you stink. So you're saying that it wasn't that she'd built up an immunity, it was that she stank so much that flu wouldn't come near her. This is such a specific example. It's not applicable in any other scenario. There's always colds, there's always flu. It's whether your immunity is good or bad. That's interesting, isn't it, that more sort of colds are spread through shaking hands than people, just taking in the air. That's why some sort of germaphobes don't even shake hands anymore.
Yeah, but that's going too far, because they're going to die of something. You can't be that paranoid. You've got to get on with your life.
Loneliness.
And it's good to feel ill, because when you feel better, you appreciate how good you feel.
Doesn't make any sense at all. It's good to feel ill. Doesn't make any sense at all.
No, it does afterwards. The other weekend, when I was ill, I don't know what was up with me, but I got something.
Symptoms?
Went to the toilet a lot, felt sick at the same time, got a sweat on, felt weak, had the shakes.
Just a bug, yeah.
Lasted probably about 24 hours. After that 24 hours, you go, oh, I feel good again. It's nice to feel good again. And it makes you appreciate how good you feel. Now, sometimes I don't know if I feel well.
It doesn't make any sense at all either. What do you mean, sometimes you don't know whether you feel well?
Because I've been in my body for years.
Here he goes again.
Go on, yeah.
Here he goes again.
Now,
the two minds.
If there was some sort of kit that the doctor said, how are you feeling, Mr. Pilkington? And I go, oh, I think I feel all right. And they go, well, do you? Yeah, I don't know. And they go, well, step into the machine, right? Get into the machine, and if he could somehow transfer my feeling into his body so I could feel how he feels, and then he can feel how I feel, and he'll go, oh, you're not well at all. Your heartbeat's irregular for a start.
You're a maniac.
This is... I don't know what's going on here.
Why don't you just accept that if you feel well, you know...
Because you don't know if you feel well.
Hang on, let's get this machine built. Sorry, why are people bothering studying AIDS? We've got to get this machine built.
Listen, this machine could do a lot of good if they could do it.
Why?
Because some people... You hear about people who go, oh, I think I've got a bit of wind. Before you know it, they drop down dead. Right? Because they didn't know. They just... Well... Didn't Mr. Jones have a sweat on Mrs. Jones before? Oh, yeah, he did, but he always had a sweat on. Well, didn't it bother him? No, he was used to it. Happened for years. Why didn't you come in? Oh,
so, and what would the machine do again?
The machine would make my doctor feel like me.
So Mr. Jones went to the doctor and said, oh, I've got a sweat on, right?
Right, so he'd go, well, I'll tell you what, get in the machine. So Mr. Jones gets in the machine. Yeah. The doctor hits the button. Mr. Jones gets into the doctor. The doctor goes, you have got a sweat on. I'm familiar with this because I had a fella in the other day with a similar thing. Take 3 of these.
You are a mental case. I don't know what this is.
Because why can't the doctor make that observation like a doctor does? Why can't the doctor, using his knowledge, observe the person with the sweat on?
This is like a scene from Ghost. This is like Patrick Swayze.
Listen, when my nerves were short...
Are they not short already? Have they extended since then?
Well, I just have to do stretches and it's pull them about.
Right.
But when I had that, I'm not very good with words.
Go on.
So when I was going in saying, Doctor, my knee's aching, and he'd go, what sort of ache is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just an ache.
Toothache. It's like a toothache in my leg.
No, but it's different. It's a different ache. Now the thing is,
it's like an arse ache.
It's hard to explain an ache.
So he'd have to feel the ache, and then he could make an assumption from it.
Thank you.
So he would presumably go through training, going in the machine, and they'd bring in various sick people, and he would experience and feel every single ailment.
Great.
Yeah, but over...
Doctor, I'm going to let you know now what a swift kick in the bollocks feels like, just in case you ever have to diagnose that. Oh, you God! I can't remember that one.
Yeah, but...
Doctor, now you're going to feel a spike up the arse.
It's all about...
Oh, I can't remember that one. Okay.
No, couldn't I just wait until the man comes in with a spike up the arse?
No, you got to tell you so you know
but
what
I reckon I could assess it. If he's got the spike up his arse, I'd be able to tell.
You've got to experience everything before someone comes in and gets into your body like Ghost, and you'll know what it is.
Hey, listen, let's not dismiss this idea out of hand, of course, because you'll famously remember, Rick, that Karl had the idea of a man who can grow backwards. So he's born as an old man, and when he dies, he's a young baby.
And with all ideas come something. Einstein said that. He said if an idea isn't...
Go on, wait, just let him finish. We've got an Einstein quote here. Yeah. This is a historic day. Karl, sorry, what were you saying? What did Albert Einstein say?
He just said something along the lines of...
Well, no. Give us the quote.
It doesn't matter about how he worded it. It's the point in hand.
Well, I think it is. I think a quote. I think like all, any sort of poetic content of anything is exactly how it's worded. So just what did Einstein say exactly?
Well, he said something along the lines of...
Go on.
An idea. If an idea isn't daft...
Oh, start again.
No, come on, let's hear it.
No, because he started... He
said if an idea isn't daft, it isn't worth thinking about.
What? Say that again?
If an idea isn't daft, it isn't worth thinking about.
I can't imagine him saying daft.
No,
well, it was something like that, though, meaning that every new idea seems a bit mental.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a good point.
But then it leads to something.
Well,
I'm not sure that I
no.
think if we were sat with Einstein now and you'd brought up the machine that allows doctors to feel, I don't think he'd be saying we should pursue that idea.
There's some ideas that go, I think the Earth might be round. People go, oh, it is flat. And then there's people who stand in doorways covered in crucifixes with tinfoil on their head saying, Jesus is in my cock.
Yeah. But
Now, he's a mentalist.
yes, but what I'm saying is, wouldn't you have said it was mental years ago when someone said, I'm going to make a machine so I can look inside your head? Years on, hello, get in the machine, we've got an MRI scanner.
You may obviously be aware, Karl, that the first contraceptive diaphragms, centuries ago, were citrus rinds. Half an orange rind, for instance, would be used.
I mean, more selfish men turned them inside out.
I believe that's also still being used in parts of Manchester.
For what?
An orange. Just think of your head.
And it worked.
Well, we don't know at this juncture.
I mean, maybe... I don't
It
know,
works for contraception because women went, fuck off, what are you going to me with a fucking orange on your cock for, you don't cunt?
But it could... I mean, again, it's that thing, innit, of we look at it now and we laugh. But look at what's happening. People now are always trying to get us to eat more fruit.
I don't know.
Amazing.
That's a way of getting...
I thought for a minute he was going to say, okay, so they start with, then they went from the orange rind to, say, a coconut shell.
Yeah.
That was too big, that didn't work.
Run! Here comes Coconut John!
No, don't put half a pineapple on your cock, that's insane.
Yeah, that's mental.
And then somewhere down the line, they finally got to contraception as we understand it. Is that, I thought that's where you're going, but no, something about eating oranges is healthy for you.
What I'm saying is, if you go into any well-known supermarket and you look at, say, some young kid who's had a kid, and you look at stuff in their shopping basket, they're not buying fruit. They're buying, you know, burgers and chips.
Turkey Twizzlers,
Yeah, crisps and all that. No, but they love having it away. Get some fruit in. So they definitely have fruit in the house, which at the moment, a lot of kids don't have fruit in their house. That's why they're eating Turkey Twizzlers. But the mum loves having it away. So she would have loads of fruit in. So everyone's happy.
If
the
she
kids
was
are
using
eating
an
fruit.
orange for contraception, she would also be giving the kids.
Well, you wouldn't waste
so half
it.
the orange she'd give to the kids, and half the orange she'd stick up her fanny.
Yeah, a treat for everyone. Have a bit of fruit, and she's got what she wants. Whereas at the moment, what happens? A burger's not coming in helpful for anyone.
If you want me tonight, pop a sesame seed bone on your cock. Take out the fucking pickle. No one likes a fucking pickle up the fanny. Oh, he's a bloody romantic. He popped a plum roast sausage up my fanny yesterday. He loves me. Oh, fuck no.
Modern man, in a sense, with all the technology we have, can play God. And this is something which is huge now. A lot of ethical discussions about things like stem cell research. Should we be interfering in what should be a godly terrain? You say no straight away. Straight away, no.
I think it's sort of like messing about now. I think that's the problem. We've got the tools and they like to use them. And that's what happens. I've got a sander for Christmas. And I can't wait to sand stuff. I can't even think of enough things that need sanding. But I want to use it. And
Not scruffy sander.
And that's the problem, innit? If you've got the tools, you can't have the tools and say, pop them in the shed. Well, no, I don't want to use them. A new tool here.
Right, sand the shed down.
That's the problem, innit? All these, you know, medical people. That's what happened in the Hulk, isn't it?
Yeah, well, again, that's, I was just going to say, that is a work of fiction, the Hulk.
Yeah, but with all fiction
Comes
the future.
Yeah,
So,
certainly in science fiction.
But the problem is, this is what I say is the problem.
Go on, no, this is a...
Is it a quote from someone?
Let's sum it up there. Carl, shoot me.
People are living too long.
That's not a summary yet. Sum it up. I have one more go.
So-
This is the real one.
It'll be something like, today's cure is tomorrow's headache. It's alright?
That's all right.
Because what I'm saying there is,
Go on.
we can come up with stuff. We can come up with a tablet to get rid of headache. Tomorrow, your headache's gone. Your legs hurting.
So today's cure is actually tomorrow's leg ache. So today's cure is tomorrow's leg ache.
Yeah, but ages ago I said to you, don't solve problems,
Yeah.
because a problem solved is a problem caused.
gonna die. I'm gonna die.
I don't remember that quote.
Medicine is the art or science of healing, and that doesn't always have to be a drug or a surgery. We mustn't just forget that some people don't need medicine, they just need help. For example, there are people that help disabled people have intercourse. There's someone that actually helps the man put in his penis to the woman's vagina. They leave the room. What?
I've never even heard of this.
It's true. Absolutely true. They're helpers.
Yeah, no, I believe that is the case.
Yeah. And that's just as needed as anything that might cure
Well,
their own.
it's not. That's pleasure.
Yeah. So what are you saying? Because you can't walk or move, that you can't love someone and want to share that love?
I'm just saying it's not a priority.
Well, no, but they're going to live. They're healthy apart from their disability. I've met someone. They want to, you know, consummate this love, and someone helps them out and goes, well, you know, that's part of my job.
No, it's not part of the job.
Well, it is part of this job because that's their job.
I have never heard anyone say, oh, I've had a right day today.
Why?
I've been playing with Arthur's tackle all day.
They don't play with Arthur's tackle. They pop Arthur's tackle in Hilda's vagina.
I don't think they do.
They do.
How can they enjoy that? I mean,
They're not doing it to enjoy it.
once, and they'd go, that didn't work, did it? I didn't enjoy that, Hilda.
No.
How can they enjoy it with a nurse stood there?
They
having
don't.
to do that?
No, they help her in. She helps Arthur in, or he might be a male nurse. Pops Arthur in. Goes, okay, Arthur. I'll see you in a few minutes. Right, goes outside.
But what's the point, though, in that?
Why?
Because it's all about the mood and everything. He's just stuck onto like a stag beetle clinging onto a leaf. There's no enjoyment in that.
Oh, the well-known stag beetle copulating with a leaf syndrome.
No, but I'm
That's
just
the
saying...
well-known position in the Kama Sutra.
I'm
No,
just
he
saying...
knows it. You know, I think it's a lovely act, and someone's willing to. Wouldn't you help someone
Definitely
in?
not.
No. What?
Definitely
So
not.
no. Look, there's a guy who goes, oh, this is my wife. We're both say, well, I can't. You know, can you just pop me in, Carl? You're the only. You know, you're the only person around.
No, I don't think it's important
But there are
enough.
people...
What do you mean you don't think it's important enough?
I'd be happy to go round, put the washing on for them, make the bed. Do you want a cup of tea? Yeah, I'd love one. There you go. Oh, just before you go, forget it. If they asked me to do that, I'd quit. And I don't think it happens, because people wouldn't take that on for a job. You never hear about it. On Comic Relief, when they're raising money, they don't go, thanks to Midland Bank for this £100, that's going to go towards Arthur getting his end away.
That's ridiculous. So you would rather them not have the pleasure of each other than just help them in?
No, because they'd work out some way that they could do something for each other. I wanted to play the guitar. My fingers aren't long enough. I'd knocked it on the head. It's the same thing. If you can't do it, don't do it.
So are you telling me, right? Okay. Suppose there's a little fella who's got no arms, no legs, right?
Right?
Little Bob. Okay. There he is. All right, Carl. Right? He's got a friend, another little fella with no arms and no legs. All right, Carl. Right? They love each other. Two little fellas, two little dwarves with no arms and no legs. Okay? Lovely little fellas. They get married. Okay?
Yeah, Carl, you can't put my penis up my boyfriend's bottom, can you?
No, I can't, no.
Why not?
No, do you need anything else doing?
No, I'm fine, yeah.
No, it's weird how you can manage everything else.
Well, no.
I'm here to help you, everything else seems to be sorted.
Well, just in the chair.
Why do you need help in this department?
Well, because he's over there and I'm here, and if you just pop me in and just
No,
leave
I'm
it
not
there.
doing that, it's not good for you. You've lost your arms and legs, you'll be losing that soon if you carry on sticking it up there.
Let's accept, right, that at some point, about 13, 14 billion years ago, there was nothing. There was no space for the nothing to be in. There was no darkness, no light, nothing. Okay, literally nothing. Except what is nearly a point in space that contained everything in the known universe, okay? Suddenly, that exploded. And in a matter of minutes, the universe was pretty much as it is now. And in all the debris, and all the dust, things started to cling together, one of which was the Earth.
Can I have Carl pick up the story from there?
Probably nothing for quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just sort of floated about.
yeah.
But it wasn't causing a problem because it wasn't annoying anyone.
No.
See, we don't get a chance of that these days.
No.
You pop something down, someone says, move that. Dangerous, what is it?
Yeah.
Back then, nothing. So it's hanging around, and if you leave something somewhere, something will sit on it.
Right.
Okay, if you leave something somewhere, something will sit on it. Yeah.
Yeah, something had to sort of happen, didn't it? I tell you what it's like.
Go on.
In the same way, penicillin
Go on.
happened.
Go on.
It was the bread was sat there. It goes off. Air would have created the greenness.
Oh God! This sounds like the Bible. That is like the Bible. Air created the greenness. That's amazing.
Carry on, because I want to. I'm learning here. I'm learning.
And once you've got something, that leads to otherness.
This is like a monk that sat down. Oh,
We're all sat
that's
cross-legged
amazing.
listening to the wise old man.
I know. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna write a thing of how everything was created.
But hang on, carry on,
Really?
because I'm interested.
Yeah.
So where are we?
So-
We had greenness, and now we've got
So
something.
the air created the greenness, and then what is it?
Then we have what was
Just
it?
otherness from the greenness. Because once you've got
From greenness comes otherness.
once you've got one thing, others come.
Yes.
The air created the greenness, then you got otherness. If you create something, others will come.
Build it and they will
But
come.
it's sort of right.
No, I'm not saying agreed. No, so, but take me on. Continue this story, because this is fascinating. So, where are we now then? What if I was to stand on the Earth at this moment in time? What would I see?
Not that much. You wouldn't want to stay.
But there's greenness.
Little patches
Little
of greenness.
patches of greenness. Okay.
Little bit of rubble knocking around.
Bit of rubble. There's a bit of rubble. Okay.
We've still got a long way to go. We want to get to life, don't we?
Okay, let's skip forward then, Carl, to life.
So everything was right, okay? It was the right distance from the sun, okay?
Yeah, but even if it
had-
wasn't,
wait,
we would still been created.
No, we wouldn't.
We would. Something would have done.
No, we wouldn't have.
I want to hear Carl's opinion on this, Rick. I'm not interested in facts. I want to hear Carl's
So
opinion.
are you saying if the atmosphere right around the Earth wasn't about 99% nitrogen oxygen with 1% other gases, we'd have still had something else?
Something would have been around.
What would
I'm
it
not
have been?
saying it might be better than us. It might be worse than us.
What would it look like?
Well, it's hard to say, because they say, don't they, that it's the conditions that mould you into the shape and colour.
Sure.
And everything else that makes you the person that you are.
Okay, let's take Pluto. We know that's the farthest away. So it is dark and cold there.
Right.
How do you imagine the creatures that will develop there will
Big
look
eyes
like?
and hairy.
But how did they evolve? How did they evolve, though?
Because we
they
evolved.
can't just-
Hang on. You always say animals change to suit the conditions.
I'd have thought if planet's dark, you don't need eyes, because things that live underground or at the bottom of the ocean, they don't have eyes or colour, because there's no point.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about, are we saying we're living inside Pluto or on the top of it like we do here?
Why would we live inside Pluto?
Well, I wouldn't-
It couldn't support life, full stop. But this, is one of the most ridiculous conversations we've ever had. He's seriously because everything's based on a ridiculously false premise.
No,
Carl,
We're saying now that the world's overcrowded.
right,
There's too many people on it.
right.
We're running out of houses. People are living in basements. Now that's only one step away from being molish. We're already going underground because we're running out of space.
Being molish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Come
like-
on. Hang on. Let him. I want to hear his point.
Is that like being Amish?
So what are you saying?
people, they don't acknowledge the crust of the Earth.
So you're saying within 5 years there's going to be sort of mole-like people living in basement flats with no eyes?
But hold on, though. According to you, the lower they go, the colder and darker they go, the hairier and better eyes they'll have.
Well, it depends now. I was only saying
saying they'd have better eyes if they're on a dark planet where they're outside, so they still have to look out for things that they could trip over.
if we're going underground.
They're so concerned. That's the whole evolution. It's like, oh, we don't want to trip over. I don't want to graze my knees.
You've got knees. They got them on Earth. Coincidence, isn't it?
Do you recycle?
I don't really do all it. I don't separate stuff. I don't sort of put there's the cans, there's the paper.
You don't do that?
You just throw it away, do you? Because that's not recycling,
That
and they
annoys
can't
me.
do anything with that.
That annoys me when you're just putting it in landfill, mate. Come on.
Yeah.
But I haven't got
That
all the
annoys
bins.
me,
There
that.
isn't enough room for all the bins.
Yeah, we have to do...
You've got a recycle box you stick outside.
Yeah.
What are you on about?
Recycle box, yeah.
I haven't got one.
Well, no, you got to ask for one.
I tried to get rid of a sofa, right? I was getting a new sofa, had the old one. You try and get rid of one of them, it's murder, right? Called up the council, said I want to get rid of it. They said we're not coming round there till Friday. It was like a Monday. I said it's in the way. So I put it outside. I said you put it outside, you'll get a fine. I said yeah, but you don't know where I'm going to put it outside.
Yeah.
It's not outside my house.
No.
So they said, well, you do that. We've got your number.
What's the
now.
sofa like? It's a beige one. Well, if we see that...
So they said if you want to pay to have it collected, we can come and get it tomorrow. 30 quid. I said I'm not paying for it. It's madness.
Yeah.
So hung up, annoyed. Called my dad up. He said, oh, I saw this thing on the telly saying that you can donate your furniture to people who haven't got a sofa. Look it up on the internet. So I looked it up. There's a firm that does it.
Right.
Right, cheeky sods. Called him up, said, I've got this sofa here, I want to donate it to someone who hasn't got a sofa. He said, oh, what's it like? Is it in good condition? Yeah, it's all right, yeah. Well, why are you getting rid of it? I said, because we've moved into a bit of a bigger place and the sofa looks daft in the corner. It's too small, so I'm getting a bigger one. There's nothing wrong with it. How big is it? How many people does it sit? So it depends how big you are. You can sit 2 people on it, but it's not the comfiest. But it's in good condition. It's none of your nonsense-like stuff. It was expensive when I bought it. He said, right. He said, is it safe? I said, what do you mean? He said, is it fag-proof? So I said, I don't smoke. He said, well, go and get the lift the thing up. He's got me running around looking at my sofa when I'm giving it away. I had to lift it up. It had a picture of a fag on it. I said, yeah, it's got a picture of a fag on it.
And could I just point out, fag is a slang for cigarette. When he says, is it fag-proof, he's not going to open the cushion and someone's go, it's me! So I should explain that straight away.
So anyway, it turned out it was fag-proof. They came and picked it up, took it away. That was that. But look at the hassle. Look at the hassle it takes to get rid of something. And then they say to you, do not be dumping stuff on the street. You know, it's that thing of having to wait for certain days of the week, and you can't always keep hold of something till a certain day of the week because it's big. A mattress it's one of them things you can't get sort of rid of, or you can't stick it somewhere because it's in the way. It's a big, clumpy bit of furniture, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not a bit of furniture, really, a mattress, but I know what you mean.
Well,
it's a new sideboard. Yeah, don't lean on it. It's a bit spongy. What are you keeping it? We can't keep anything in it. It's just full of springs and stuff.
No, but you know what I mean.
It's a furniture, to be honest.
Well, it's part
it should be
of-
on a bed, to be honest.
It's part of a furniture bit, isn't it? Did I tell you that time when...
I don't think you could even ever count a mattress as a piece of furniture.
Of course you can.
It's functional. And where do you stop? Is a pillow a piece of furniture? Is a blanket? Oh, a nice bit of furniture you're wearing. They'd be trousers. They're furniture if you pop them up against a wall.
Did I tell you that time when we first bought a flat?
Go on.
Bought a flat in Manchester, right? And
Yeah.
You know, when you first buy a place, it's expensive, isn't it?
And it's a big bit of furniture, a flat, isn't it?
So, you know, we bought a sofa, we got a table.
Sorry, you don't mean you bought a sofa, you ended up with a table?
No.
You bought a sofa and a table.
Yeah.
Table.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know.
Suzanne said you didn't buy a sofa and you came back with a table.
Now, back then, I wasn't as wise as I am now.
Fucking hell! Oh, what was he? Some snot in a jar.
Can I just apologise to any snot in a jar that's listening and was offended by that comment?
All right. So I ordered a bed.
Yeah.
It turned up.
Oh, well done. Fucking hell, that's a victory.
I thought.
He went down shin creek this
That's not
time.
the end of the story, is it?
No.
So I thought, I'm going to get this in the bedroom, set it all up. Suzanne comes home from work, the bed's done, she'll be well happy.
Yeah.
So I get it all up there in the lift and what have you. It seems like I'm missing something here. Put it together, no mattress.
How would you not notice there was no mattress?
No, just because it's like, you know, I'm thinking, yeah, I've got all the screws, I've got the slats for that at the bottom, there's the post and that. So put it together.
Where's
going,
the
right.
softy, spongy bit of furniture that usually sits on top of the more rigid bit of furniture?
So I called them up and said, there's no mattress with it. They said, no, it's not part of it. So what do you mean it's not part of it? A bed isn't a bed without a mattress. It's a climbing frame, right? So they said, you know, you can buy one. We have got them in for that thing. But it was like 400 odd quid. And I
don't know
paid
why you're
about
telling me this.
300.
I know this. I've bought beds. I understand this is how it
The
works.
mattress isn't a bed. No, the bed is something else.
Yeah, but that's wrong. You cannot use a bed without a mattress, is what I'm saying. So don't sell it without it.
No, but some people replace the bed frame
That's
with
fine.
and keep the
That's
old
fine.
mattress or the
That's
other way
fine.
around.
Once you've invested in it and you go, oh, will I buy a new bed or will I just buy a new mattress? Fine.
Well, they're not going to keep selling beds with new mattresses in case you've already got a mattress.
What?
A bed and a mattress without any pillows and blankets is no good, but you don't expect that to come with it.
At least you can sleep on that. You can sleep on a spongy bit. You can chuck a coat over you. You can use a cushion off a sofa.
Thinking some fuckwit might buy it without the mattress. We better include it.
So anyway, I was like, oh, I didn't think of this.
I didn't think of this.
So I called my dad up.
I didn't think. So I called me dad. Dad, it's your fuckwit son again. Oh, son, how's it going? What have you done? Bought a bed without a mattress? Oh.
So I said, listen, I bought that bed. There's no mattress on it. Can you get us one? So he said, oh, I'll have a word. I'll call around, right? So he calls back like an hour and a half later. He said, got your mattress, go round to Alf's. Alf is me sort of uncle who isn't an uncle.
All right.
He's the one who I've told you about who had two tellies, one that worked picture-wise, one that worked on the sound.
Perfect.
Slept in a rubber dinghy, right? Now the thing is,
I remember Alf, yeah.
he said, yeah, got a mattress, come and get it. So I go round there.
Why does he sleep on the fucking mattress if he's got one? Why does he sleep in a fucking boat if he's got a mattress?
He's terrified of flooding.
Yeah.
I get there and it's in his van.
Right.
Drag the
He's
mattress
driving
on.
around with a mattress in the back of a van. What is he, a fucking serial killer?
So I thought Suzanne's going to be happy. Dragged it out of the van, chucked it in the car. Thought she won't even know. Do you know what I mean?
No.
So I dragged that back. You know, am I going to make it rush hour by this point? You know, she's going to get home. Anyway, get home, drag it into the lift and what have you. Drag it up, drag it into the bedroom, stick it on.
Prostitute falls off it.
Put a sheet on it and that. Suzanne comes in. She goes, "What is that smell?" So I said, "What?" She said, "It's like oil and diesel."
But hold on, why didn't you smell it?
I know, it doesn't make sense.
I think I just sort of got used to, maybe because I got in the back of the van, smelt that, thought that's in the van, then I got used to that smell.
Yeah.
It's in the back of my car, folded up. I'm concentrating on trying to get this bed made before she gets in.
Sure.
So anyway, she's going, "What is it?" I said, "I've got this off Alf." She said, "We can't have that." She said, "You know, it's a new flat, nice clean flat and everything. We've got this old thing that stinks. Get rid of it." It was murder getting rid of that. And I had to tip it. I went round the back of some supermarket and left it there. Because you call
Fly
around...
tipping. Illegal fly tipping.
Well, no, because I think it's illegal and bad when you're chucking it out, say, at a bus stop or somewhere on a high street or something and people are going, "That looks a mess." I chucked it near the bins at a supermarket. I'd gone out of my way. I thought, where is this not going to be offensive?
Why couldn't you just go down the tip?
I think I did try the tip. Oh, no, there's a massive queue. There's a massive queue.
Laziness, Rick,
A queue
sorry.
at the tip?
A massive queue. I
Where
remember
was
it
this?
now.
Oh,
Stretford.
laziness then.
Stretford, that
Why
one. I
is there
remember.
a queue for the tip?
Don't know. I remember, yeah. I remember driving past it and I haven't got time for that. And that's...
So don't go on about you couldn't get rid of it. It's because you could be asked to queue up, you lazy bastard. Couldn't get rid
But
of
what
it.
was he thinking? Why was he panicking? One, why did he get a bed without a mattress? Two, why does he call his dad to get him out of mattress-related problems? His dad goes to Alf's got one in the back of a dirty old fucking van. Oh, wait, that should be all right.
No, but the thing is, what I'm saying is, when I was in that bed shop and I'm going, "Oh yeah, good bed, I'm sitting on it, I'm sitting on a mattress with it. At no point did he say, "Now, have you thought about what sort of mattress you want? Have you got orthopaedic problems or whatever?" That didn't come up. He said, "There's your order, there's your address. I'm not a bed man, I go to the bed man to get bed advice." In the same way, same problem here. I've had work done recently with...
Dad, what? How to get rid of a body? Let me call out.
I'd work done recently, right? Bathroom retiled.
Yeah.
Right? It's been a nightmare. Polish fella.
Right.
Not a word of English, which makes it hard. I've got him in as a professional to do it. He's sticking grout down the toilet. You know, and after they put like the grout in the tiles to finish it off,
Yeah.
anything that's left, he didn't put it in a bin and dispose of it properly. He stuck it down the toilet.
Yeah.
And now it's there, the grout's there at the bottom of the toilet.
Is it really?
Yeah, with a screw in it.
Well, you can drain it, can't you? You can turn the water off, get rid of it, drain the water
No,
off.
it won't seem to go around the U-bend.
Well,
It's
no,
stuck
you
there.
get it out there, you dry it off, wouldn't you, so there's no water in there.
Well, just stick your
I've
hand
pushed
in.
a lot
Get
of-
your hand in there. Why don't you put a
Well, last time I
glove?
did that, last time you called up when I had my hand down a grid and you were going, "What are you doing? Get someone out to do that." You called up here. I was up to my shoulder, Steve, in like glunge.
What annoys me, Rick, is he makes up his own words.
Well, I'm going to use that for flanimals, mate.
Do you know the carrier bag problem?
Sure.
I was in the supermarket, and it's that point when they'd turn round and said, "Do you want a carrier bag?" And I said, "Yeah." I bought like milk, loaf. I think I bought some pikelets.
Some what?
That's a pikelet!
It's like a thin crumpet.
I think you told me that before.
There's a word I'd get rid of.
Pikelet.
There's a word I would get rid of.
Thin crumpet.
I've got time to say thin crumpet. I do not need a specific
Thin
word.
crumpet. These, that's not a crumpet. Why? Too thin. Call it a
The thing
pikelet.
is,
Fuck off.
I'd spent over a tenner anyway, right?
Right.
I get to the till.
What? Can you make a pikelet by squashing a crumpet thin?
It's tough
What?
to... I've tried that.
What if you cut one in half?
No, it doesn't. It's not the same.
No?
I've tried squashing a crumpet.
How dense is a crumpet that you need a
It
thin
depends
one?
where you go. They've got thicker. I'm not enjoying the thicker crumpet at the moment.
Why?
Because the outside burns and the inside does nothing. It's like eating dough. I've cut them out of my diet.
Have you?
Yeah,
Well,
I don't
you
have
go straight to pikelets now, is
It's
that
also because it's not the 1950s anymore.
Yeah.
So I bought all this stuff. It's over a tenner. She said, "Do you want a carrier bag?" I said, "Of course I do with all this, you know." She said, 5 pence. I said, "You what?" She said, 5 pence for a carrier bag. I said, "I come here all the time for the pikelets."
No, I'm right behind this. Right behind this.
Why?
Charging for carrier bags,
Yeah, it makes you
absolutely.
think, like-
Lazy bastards. I take carrier bags down to the supermarket every time I go down there.
Yeah, we've got a drawer full of carrier bags. I use
No,
reuse them.
Steve, can I just put a question in?
Go on.
I do normally. I reuse them. But I didn't know. I was on my way home from work that day.
Fine, but
Suzanne
this is the
called up.
problem. So be it.
So-
That's
Come
you
on.
bought
Come
pays
on.
with a nose, 5p, otherwise you carry one with
and
you.
you got another one. You got
Right,
remember.
so I said, how's that going to help? How's my 5 pence going to help the environment?
Typical, that is the attitude. That sums it up,
Yeah.
and it
Well,
sums
at least
it
it
up.
goes
What
to
can I
avoid
do?
something else, doesn't it? It's
It's
just
the
making you think.
turtles. It's the turtles.
Right,
She said.
yeah, turtles. That's right. They get caught up in them. Yeah,
No,
terrible.
she said.
They think they're a
jellyfish.
jellyfish, and they
Yeah.
kind of they swallow it. Yeah, they choke.
So I said, right. So it's all right. I can kill a turtle, can I, for 5 pence? You're not that bothered then?
Why do you want to kill a turtle at all?
Because if carrier bags shouldn't be out there,
Yeah.
ban them. But don't say you're killing turtles with free carrier bags. If you want to kill a turtle, 5 pence. Oh, there you go. There's 5 pence. I don't kill a turtle. That's what's annoying me.
It's not compulsory though, is it? But what they're saying is that 5 pence goes towards something, doesn't it?
She said we can't give you carrier bags anymore because you're killing turtles.
There's no way. She said we can't give you. Karl Pilkington, stop killing fucking turtles. 5 pence.
All I'm saying is, if carrier bags are killing turtles, stop making carrier bags. Because the thing is, I can afford 2 carrier bags. 2 turtles are dead since I've been going in there. So does it matter? Does it matter that much or not enough, or what? What's the point here?
There could be for that 5p. You could get a little fella out there when he sees a turtle going. He goes and sticks his finger down his throat.
But what taste are they getting out of a jellyfish anyway?
Wow. Will they?
Carrier bag's better, isn't it?
Yeah, it gives. Oh, it's pikelet. Someone threw a perfectly good pikelet away. Talking about the Earth, Karl is going around the Earth.
I've only done Egypt so far.
What do you think of it? They're probably the greatest and earliest civilizations.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they harp on about that, haven't they?
Well,
And it's like that's slowing them down, I think.
Unlike the English, we don't drone on about our great past.
no,
But we shouldn't.
yeah.
I don't think we should.
Karl,
Move on.
you go on about doing boxing when you turned up once and got battered by Leroy.
Yeah, because you asked me about it. But
Right.
the thing is, they're constantly... It's like they haven't moved on. Everywhere you go, you see the Sphinx or a pyramid on something. And it builds it up too much. So that when you actually get there, you feel like you've seen it so many times that it doesn't impress you that much. But I like the... you know, it's different. I liked all the, you know, locals and stuff and the way they are and that. And that's good, isn't it?
Are they?
Just a lot of old people.
Yeah.
A lot of old and the young mix more than our lot do. There was only a couple of things that I didn't like, and that was the toilets. Toilets are pretty depressing.
Why? What's up with them?
Just, it's just a hole in the ground, isn't it?
Right.
And I like the toilet. It's sort of, you know, me time. And to sort of go in one of them, you don't want to hang around. It's sort of, you just want to do the job and get out, but my insides don't work like that. They like to sort of relax a bit. And you can't do that there because you've got flies whizzing around your head. And there was one time when we were out and about and I'd had a bit of hummus or something, because that's you can't get away from all that. I'd been dipping my bread in it and I suddenly thought, oh, it barely feels funny. Got to find a toilet. cut through this market. Didn't know one was there, but you sort of smell it. It's like I'm getting close to one. Yeah, it stinks. You go in, there's like a fella sat there, really old. He must have been about 93, about 2 teeth. Sat there with a rag, and you have to pay him to use the toilet.
What's the rag for? He doesn't wipe your ass for you.
I don't know. But
Well,
the toilet's never been cleaned by the looks of it. I had to give him like 5 Egyptian pounds, whatever that is. I don't know how much that is. But I don't know what he's doing for that money, because the place had never seen a mop. So I go in there, open the door, and it's like one of them holes in the ground. I go, oh God, can't use that. Push the next door open, that's the same. Get to the end one, open it. Normal toilet.
All right.
Ding dong.
Brilliant. Sit down there, do what I do, look round, no toilet paper.
Oh no.
He's waving the rag over the top of the cubicle.
Yeah.
More money.
£10.
So I'm thinking, oh God. I'm thinking, can I just get up? Because it was quite a clean, I thought... if I
It
had
was
to-
quite a clean drop. Sure.
Yeah. So I'm thinking,
Don't
oh,
they use water though? Don't they use?
well, they
water?
have a hose pipe, yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Use
didn't
the-
fancy that.
Well, that's cleaner though, isn't it? A hose pipe. I'm really getting a
No,
proper
it's
wash.
heck.
Why?
How can it be?
Why?
Because that's just gonna, that's not gonna clean it properly. It's gonna get rid of some bits, isn't it? It's like when you clean a car, yeah, use a hose, but where's a sponge?
Sure.
So,
Yeah,
So-
that's true. You rinse off a plate, but then you always give it a little wipe
Exactly,
as
but I like it. That's when the bloke knocks on the door and goes, "You need sponge?" Yes.
so I'm in there, I look at the door, there's no handle on the door. So I'm trapped in there anyway. Someone's nicked the handle. So I can't open the door. I'm sat there, there's no toilet paper. I'm calling like the people who I'm out there with.
well. Did they bring you some toilet paper then?
No, they got it from the fella with the he paid the money to. He had
you
the
should have
supply.
paid for some on the way in.
I think that's what you do. But they don't give you a full roll. They give you like a strip,
Right.
which I'm pretty wasteful with toilet paper.
well, it's
I
made you
prefer
learn,
to do a good job, use it up, replace it, rather than 5 sheets. I've never done that in my life.
Right.
So my brother taught me something. When he was in the army, he said you used to have to sort of put your hand through it, get it all, then use that paper to get it off your hand.
What?
When you're in the army,
Yeah.
they're taught survival techniques.
Right.
And they said if you're caught with very little toilet paper,
It's a survival technique.
Yeah.
not like-
yeah. What did he die? Died of a dirty ass. Hold on, wait a minute. Right, what is this technique?
you get the toilet paper,
Right.
use 2 sheets,
Right.
fold it over. So you've got, normally to 1 sheet is 2 ply. You've
Right.
got 4 ply.
Right.
Right.
It's
2
a sort
sheets.
of, it's like a bog glove, a bog paper glove.
Yeah, so you put your hand through it so you make a hole.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Make a hole?
Make a hole so your hand goes through it.
Yeah.
Then you can wipe your arse with that.
What,
And
with
then-
your hand?
Yeah, and then the toilet paper that's left, you pull it off like that and you wipe your fingers with it.
So you've still got shit on your hand?
This is horrible.
Yeah, but
Why don't you just wipe your ass with the toilet paper?
Because you've only got a couple of sheets because you're in the jungle, right? And it's
But
survival.
I don't know.
So it's survival, Rick.
So what's the difference between
don't know.
wiping
Maybe you
your
got it
ass
wrong.
with your hand and trying to get shit off your hand, or wiping your ass with a toilet paper and putting your fucking trousers up? I don't know why this is a technique. That's some sort of mad sergeant's idea. What I do, boys, is I like to smear shit all over my face and then use the one sheet of toilet to wash my face off. It doesn't make any sense at all. Should I suggest something for you? You like wiping your ass with your hand. You don't like paper and water, you like a sponge. One of those big foam hands that you see at sporting events. So you just go in with that, like Kenny Everett. You go in there with 2 big sponge. You sit down, you wipe your ass, you just leave them up, you just leave
And
them
then
there.
you can cheer about it as you leave. With everyone there. Be careful with the giant sponge finger that it hasn't got the arse. And cause damage. That is a problem. In ancient Greece, every year 500 people would be selected from that Grecian society, and they would have to sit there that year, and they would propose laws, and everyone else would vote on them. Now, if you were in that position, right, you're called up. What rules and laws are you instigating?
You might go, right, I want an egalitarian society. I want freedom for people. I don't want slavery. I don't want any sort of oppression. Would that be high on your list?
Well, you could say, when I worked at Cordon Bleu, there was times when I thought being treated like a slave here.
You weren't though, because
yeah,
you were being
weren't, you
paid
weren't
and you
a
were
slave.
free. So.
Different
What do you mean? I wasn't free. I was on like from 9 till 6.
You had the choice to leave the job. Slave didn't have a choice to leave.
I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, you did.
The only other choice was Tesco, and they'd already turned me down.
No, that's not. That wasn't
no choice,
That
that's why.
that wasn't the lack of choice given to most
But the slaves who built the pyramids, that wasn't an option for them. It wasn't like they could go. Well, I could get a better gig on the Sphinx.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, you're not saying anything. You're saying it's absolute drivel again.
Here's a little Greek proverb for you. A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in.
What do you think of that?
Do you understand?
Yeah, just saying. They're planting a seed. They grow a tree, but trees take ages.
Yeah.
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
That old fella's not going to get any joy out of that.
Right.
But if he's lucky,
Yeah.
the fella next door might have done the same years ago. So it's all about sort of planting a seed, looking after each other.
That's great, actually. It's not. I don't think it's directly what it means.
It's almost the point.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I think he means that future generations. But yeah, if the next door neighbour had done that, then yeah, that works as well.
But you seem to agree that that's a good point. Do you agree that seems a good point to you?
But I'm sort of guessing he enjoyed gardening anyway. Part of the enjoyment was in planting that seed.
we should have.
It's the old metaphor problem again, isn't it?
I know, yeah.
It's not specifically about trees.
But as a metaphor, what he enjoyed is the fact that he's added to society and human life, and he's got a legacy and all that.
But by the same time, when I went to Ibiza, right, now there they have motorbikes, people flying around on them, people don't wear helmets. You might even get 3 people on a moped. I saw a farmer with a goat in a basket. They don't care. They're whizzing around at high speeds. A lot of deaths there.
Yeah.
And they'll have a lot of those areas where someone's come off, been killed. People put flowers there.
Yeah.
And because that happens a lot, it's a lovely green island. Now here, we're saying wear a helmet.
Well, you're saying that all the deaths make it nice because there's
It makes
flowers.
it lovely.
Because there's loads of flowers
So
everywhere.
with death comes beauty. So that's another metaphor. You can have that one.
That was one of the most tortuous things I've ever... That was extraordinary.
But look at London.
That was extraordinary, Carl.
Right, Carl.
Well, look at London, though. Let me finish my point.
Let him finish his point. I'm intrigued.
Right, London, councillor with his clipboard, need a speed bumper, I saw someone doing 35. Put some traffic lights there and a pedestrian crossing. Pelican crossing there as well. And a speed camera.
Right.
Horrible and grey.
Okay.
No flowers.
But you still see flowers left behind where people have died in terrible
They're
accidents.
not very good ones. They're stuck to a lamppost with elastic band round them. They don't look nice.
He's knowing the quality of flowers. Yeah, but the point is
Some 15-year-old got run down and you're disappointed at the quality of the flowers.
Look at this, Suzanne. Fella lost his head here. Geraniums? Geraniums? Fella lost bloody head?
Well, that's
So we have to encourage
though.
gun crime so that people get shot in inner cities and then we can put flowers up and beautify the area. Is that
No,
what you're
but if
saying?
an area's nicer to look in, nicer to be in, if it's nicer looking, you don't get people speeding around like lunatics. Because they go, I'm not in a rush, I'd quite like to slow down
This
there and
is
look
so
at the flowers.
complicated. So now what you're saying is because an area is grey and gloomy, people speed around to get out of it. In the course of doing that, they knock people down. But then flowers are put up, which then makes the area beautiful, thus stopping people driving around at speed so deaths no longer occur.
Well, they keep on getting out of their cars to put down flowers.
Then they get knocked down. Yeah. Other people on their way to put some flowers down.
Yeah.
Just sometimes people have to die, don't they? There was a fella outside our house who had a lamppost. He had a helmet on, but his head come off.
You made me laugh at a man's head coming up because the way you said it.
But that's the thing.
he had a, oh God. There's a man who died in a house. He had a lamppost, he had a helmet on, but his head come off.
So you're saying that because in that one instance, the helmet did not save his life.
His head was in great condition. It's just not attached to his body. And that's what I'm saying to you. Sometimes people have to die. How far do you take all this stuff of you know, safety gear and slowing down and wear bright clothes at night? And it's just too much.
Very important point, you see. Do you think someone should be made to wear a crash helmet? They're only hurting themselves.
Crash helmet. I don't think you should get fined for not wearing one.
But we're not just protecting him, he could be a father with 2 kids. So you're going, oh, let him, if he doesn't wear a crash helmet, let him get brain damage. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying, we're over the top in this country.
No, but
when it comes
you're
to that
saying
sort of
if you're
thing.
saying no, if he doesn't want to wear a crash helmet, let him not wear a crash helmet. He smacks his head in. He's a vegetable. He's like that, sitting at home like that. And yet the two little kids come to you. You're in charge. Don't forget. We've put you in charge of society here, and they come to you. Two little kids. They go, President Pilkington.
What?
Why did you let my daddy not wear the crash helmet?
I didn't. We paid. We put leaflets through the door. We had adverts on the telly, sunshine.
Yeah, but why?
It's your dad's fault.
But why wasn't it compulsory? Because he wanted. It's
not the world we live in, Sonny.
Yeah, now I haven't got a daddy.
Has he got an helmet at all? Have you seen an helmet knocking about?
No, he's a vegetable now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't want to wear a crash helmet, but why didn't you make him wear a crash helmet? It wasn't just him, it was us. Why did you turn my daddy into a vegetable?
Where's your mum?
Mum left when he kept going on about not wearing a crash helmet.
We'll put you in a home. I just think, you see, this is the problem. Everyone's looking for someone to blame.
Yes, but this is interesting though, because you were particularly callous to that little 4-year-old boy who seemed so sweet and adorable.
Yeah.
But why wasn't he giving this stick to his dad?
Well, his dad's dead. He's a vegetable.
He's dead.
He's good as dead to him.
His dad went within the law. It was not the law to wear a crash helmet anymore, because you said, forget it, I don't want a nanny state. I don't want... If you wear a crash helmet or not, he wasn't a responsible parent. He hadn't thought it through. But this is your job. Some people aren't responsible. Society keeps them on track. This was you were in charge. You should have made him wear a crash helmet. He had 2 kids.
We've heard from one of the kids. What's the other one's attitude? Is he younger?
He's a bit younger.
Is he even younger still?
Yeah.
President Pilkington. My brother's crying now. She shouted at him. I wish you'd have made my daddy wear a crash helmet.
Why didn't you make your daddy wear a crash helmet?
Well, he won't listen to me because I'm not in charge.
Well, he didn't
of
listen to
society.
me. Yeah, it seems like a bit of a numb nut, to be honest.
No, he did listen to you.
What did he do
because
for
you
a
made a new
living?
rule saying people don't have to wear crash helmets.
Right. What,
and he listened to you.
Did he pop shoes on in the morning when he went out? Or did he need to be here to tell him to do that as well?
No, there's certain
Oh,
things
so he
that
has got some common sense then?
Well, there's enough, yeah.
Oh, right, interesting. So he can be bothered with his trainers, but he can be bothered with helmet.
I haven't got a daddy.
Jesus. Why can't they just put a leaflet through saying, hello everyone, use your common sense?
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking. That's what I say if I was
some people
president.
don't have common sense.
Everyone's
some
got
people
common
are
sense.
fucking idiots.
Yeah,
mate.
It's not my fault
That's
then.
why that's
Not
why
my
there is
fault.
a government. If we let people, they'd be fucking idiots.
Well, it's what we've talked about here. Social responsibility. This is your approach. I wash my hands of the whole affair.
Yeah, I don't that the people who don't wear an helmet sort of they do themselves in, and that's cleared them off. That's one problem sorted.
So you think you're being Darwinian? You're thinking survival of the fittest. The idiots will soon, but they don't, because they're not just the victims. The dead person isn't the victim. We've talked about it before. You know, people who smoke know that it's dangerous, but why is that still legal? And yet people know that and they still smoke. Fat people know that they're going to get out of breath and clammy, and yet they still eat more.
But because that's what I'm saying.
Why don't we stop fat people eating? If you've got a smackhead and you really love him, you intervene, you grab him, you put him in a cupboard, you go, you're not coming out. He goes mad for about a year, then he thanks you for it.
Yeah.
So lock fat people in a cupboard. And just
can't
put
get 'em
carrots
in.
under the door. What?
The thing is, there's got to be some responsibility. Now, if it's your own fat kid, stick him in your cupboard. But what I'm saying is, as a counsellor, I'm not spending taxpayers' money on cupboards to put the fat kid in.
Obviously, in China, you can only have one child, can't you? Is that something you feel we should bring in here?
Yeah, I think we've got to. I don't know about one kid. I just sort of concentrate on who can have a kid, as
Okay.
opposed to if someone's got a load of money and they're good at looking after kids, let Madonna have as many as she wants. But if it's someone who's
but then...
So social engineering, you want to do
Yeah,
there.
but hold on though.
Well, what
this
you
is-
used to do then, if you're bringing them into a poor family, what's the plan? What good is that for anyone? It's not good for the people who've had the kids.
So
it's not good
who's
for the kid who can't have
deciding
anything.
who's allowed to have how many kids?
Yeah,
Are you
but
deciding?
I was brought into the poor family, wasn't I?
What?
I was brought into a poor family.
No, I'm talking really poor.
So, third world.
No,
What, poorer than that? Poorer than no money at all?
I just mean like the people who I've told you about on the estate sometimes, who had that one who chased cars and stuff. He wasn't happy. They didn't care if he was there or not. What's the point?
Right. So hang on. So let's imagine
So-
that Ricky and I are husband and wife. We've come in, right? What's your questions to us to establish whether we are allowed to have a couple of kids?
Hello.
Hello. Thanks for
And me
coming.
and my husband, we can't have children.
Why not?
Because he's got no sperm at all.
Okay.
He had one sperm, and it was ridiculous. It was awful. It just came out like a dead anchovy.
Right.
And you're meant to have 300 million tiny ones, and he had one big one. It was horrible. I had to pull it out. It was like a leech. And also, it was no. I haven't got a vagina, so there was no.
Completely smooth down there, like an action man.
Yeah, it was just that. I don't know. But we love children, and we wondered if we could have a child.
What do you do for a living? What do you do? What's your work?
I'm a rapist.
Right.
And I dispose of the bodies.
Right. Well, fill out this form.
I should have clarified. A rapist murderer.
Yeah.
Fill out the form.
He does it in the wrong order as well, I must say. So, no, number of times I've disposed of the body. He said, I haven't made that one.
Just wondered what else you need to know about us. Because even though
that was our little joke, by the way. He doesn't rape.
I work in an office.
He works in an office in the town.
But
I'm a housewife.
She's a housewife.
I'm making a little nest for when we adopt a little child.
We don't earn a great deal of money, but we're good parents. We think.
Good parents.
What's that based on?
Well, we're good people, you know. I mean, aside from a few naughty jokes,
we're God-fearing people. We believe that God is watching all of us, and we believe in the Old Testament.
And sometimes He tells us to kill and rape.
Yeah, sometimes He does. Yeah.
We're joking again.
We're joking again. We
We
don't believe in God. We're from an atheist and believe that our time on earth is all we have, and then when we die, we become worms, mate.
Right. Well, you filled out.
But we've already painted the back bedroom. That's ready for the little child.
We painted it black. Because we want our child to be a Satanist.
Right.
Joking again.
Little joke from us.
We want him to be an accountant.
Right.
Yeah.
Gay accountant. And there's too much in society where people are pressured to be heterosexual, so we're going to try and make ours a homosexual.
Right. So you filled out the form.
Fill out the form.
Yeah. We'll pop that in, get it processed.
Right.
Okay, but what kind of questions are you going to ask us?
None really.
No.
It's just my job.
You're happy.
Just my job to pass the forms on.
We've passed the interview.
Because that's the sort of world we live in now.
God.
You've obviously heard of the famous Rosa Parks incident, in which she was obliged to move on the bus from where she was sat to somewhere else. She chose not to, and she was arrested for it. Became very much a sort of figurehead of the civil rights movement. Had you been travelling on that bus?
What did you do?
And am I far from where I'm getting off?
So once again, you can't just nip out at the next stop so you can wash your hands of the whole affair. No, you're on that bus. You've still got a number of stops, so you've got to stay on that bus. You've seen this bus driver demanding that she gets up, gives up that seat. Maybe she's giving up that seat for you.
I'd probably go, it's all right. I'm standing. I'm all right.
What if Suzanne wasn't allowed to sit with you on buses? What if now a law came in that women were second-class citizens and she can't come with you? Wouldn't you go, no, fuck that, she's sitting with me?
I'd say we're only going around the block. We've been to the shopping centre. We're only 15 minutes. Can you take that bag with you? Because there's no one sat next to you down here. I'm a bit crammed in up here. There's more blokes on the bus. I'll see you in a minute.
Carl, let's put this I mean, obviously, this is too much for your head to... You're on a bus, right, and there's a few white people, and they're...
I'm the driver.
And they're being racist to a black kid.
Right, I'd go, if I'm driving, I'd go, lads, stop that, will you?
If you're going to be racist, can you get off at the next stop and do it there?
You know, we've all had a tough day. It's the end of the day. We just all want to go home. We've all been working. He's not in your way. He's sat in his own seat. Sit back. Calm down. Had enough.
Surely you want to be on the side of right.
I'm just doing my job here. I'm sat driving a bus. I'm driving a bus for 30 quid a week here and getting a load of grief off some people at the end of the day.
But think bigger than the bus rule. It's not just a bus thing, all right? Just imagine that you're not a bus driver. All right?
No, but that's what we're talking about here.
But yes, but Ricky's trying to make a point. It's an analogy again. It's about you taking some kind of responsibility that could put you in harm's way. Yeah. That could mean that you've got to stand up to danger or to bullies or to aggression.
If someone's attacking Suzanne, she goes, Carl, help. You go, no, I could get her here.
Because I know the full story here. But this is what I'm saying about Rosie.
Rosie,
what's it? I'm just saying, she's sat on the bus. How did it work?
I'll
She
tell
got
you
on the
how it
bus,
worked.
she sat where she wanted.
No, I'll tell you how it worked. It was up to the driver's discretion to change where black people could sit, depending on the number of white passengers that got on. So she sat in a seat, so more and more white passengers get on, so this bloke decides, well, no, actually, this is no longer the black section, there is no black section, because there's enough white people, you've got to stand up. And she decided, no, I'm not going to get up. It's my right to be able to sit on this bus as a person, as a human being, not whether or black or white. And that was why she got arrested.
On a different bus, on a different day, it might not have turned out that way. That's what I'm saying. It might have been, you know, someone else who goes, get off, who's been in a right mood, might have been in the pub all afternoon. And she's there going, I'm not moving, and he's fed up, he's up to here with it.
Sorry, so she's pissed up.
She's pissed up now.
No, the person sat next to her
Yeah.
might have even been a black bloke who's been working hard. And he's like, I don't want this. It's difficult, isn't it? If I was on there, I'd weigh her up. You know, is this woman doing this as like a good cause, or is she just a trouble causer? Because she just seemed like, you know, I'll do what I want. Now that's fine. You'll always get people who do what they want, and they do change the little rules along the way. But I bet when she was doing it, it wasn't like a big stand up. This is the day I'm going to do it. It's just happened to. She was fed up that day. She didn't want to get up. Lazy. She might just go around law breaking all the time, and she's remembered now because she'd made a change about bus seats. But when she got up that morning, did she say I'm going to do that, or has she been fly tipping before she got on the bus? This is what I'm saying. Is she just a, you know?
No, she's not a troublemaker. She's someone who already had a burgeoning interest in the civil rights. I mean, I really thought the Rosa Parks incident was pretty cut and dry. The fact that Carl's managed to find an ambiguity in it is extraordinary.
I love it.
Tell me something else about Rosie Parks.
Oh, for God's sake. I don't know what she's got to do to win you round, Carl. Honestly, I didn't realise it would be this difficult.
There was a bit of trouble in our yard the other day.
Right.
Between a wasp and a cricket.
No, the thing is there any point to this at all, or are you just going to tell us you saw?
Are you going to extrapolate some analogy from this?
I think so.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
let's see.
So there's a wasp.
Yeah, well, so look at that scenario.
As you said, sorry, just to clarify, as you said, it was kicking off.
Right, okay.
Scenario.
So you're looking out your window.
No, I'm in the kitchen by the sink.
Yeah.
I'm washing up the few plates.
Right.
The kitchen door's open.
Right.
Suzanne says, "Oh my God, look at that!
What?
There's a wasp and a cricket having a wrestle." I've never seen it before.
Right.
Wait! Are you sure this wasn't Mexican television and it actually was a sporting event?
Dressed up.
Yeah.
So they're there wrestling, and I was like, "Well, stop them then." So
Stop! Whoa! You don't interfere with fucking Rosa Parks. Why are you interfering with a wasp and a cricket?
Because one, I didn't even know they didn't get on, to be honest. Because they were sort of wrestling. I said, and my hands were wet, so I couldn't do anything. I always overdo it with the fairy liquid.
Yeah, sure.
So she's there. I say, separate them. Now, so she uses a tea towel, flicks them.
Clever. Good thinking.
The wasp goes its own way. The cricket's sort of jumping about a bit.
But who was fighting who?
So I'm sort of saying that is really weird, because wasps are changing quicker than anything else that I keep my eye on.
Okay, well that's just your theory and it's not based on anything.
Well, I told you a couple of years back I saw one eating chicken. They shouldn't be doing it. So anyway, so now they're causing trouble with a cricket.
Whoa, how do you know it was the wasp's fault? This is prejudice. Why do you think it was the wasp's fault? What if the cricket would have started it? What if the cricket's got a society that go, we hate wasps, we hate their stripes. We hate them. If they come here, fight them. If everyone comes down here, fight them. How do you know it wasn't the cricket that started that?
Well, I suppose at that time I didn't, but since...
Subsequent information's come through.
Sorry.
Okay,
so anyway...
Like Columbo, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I saw all that, we broke it up, the cricket was sort of shaking a bit.
Definitely not! Definitely not!
It was shaking a little bit.
Yeah.
So I sort of prodded it, put a little leaf over it because it was a hot day. Thought I'd put a leaf there so it doesn't get overheated.
I love
I'll
this.
keep an eye
Like
on
it's
it.
doing the marathon. It's got it's got Mars on the leaf, written on the leaf, and now it's just walking over the little medal.
So Suzanne, I leave it for a bit.
Leave
get
it.
on.
What did
About
you say?
half an hour, about left it for half an hour.
What did Suzanne want to do? She wanted to interfere, did she? What did she want to do? Just sort of like...
No, she just sort of said, leave it, stop messing with it. It's probably a little bit knocked out, a little bit stunned.
Sure, let's get on with our lives, she said. Yeah.
So I put the leaf on it. We go off, and half an hour later, I get back in. I said, I'm going to go and see the
Where'd you
cricket.
go? Where did you go?
Just for a walk. So I've been out, back in, have a look. Cricket's still there. Noticed one of its legs gone.
Oh.
Don't know if the wasp did that or the tea towel flick. Well,
Right.
this is when I got the computer out.
Right.
Had a look. What happened is the wasp apparently does this a lot, and it stings them in the head.
Right, not this particular. If there wasn't like a little profile of this particular wasp.
It's just an incident that
Just
happens a
generally
lot
happens
between
within
wasps and crickets.
Right.
So it stung it in the head, and what happens is it's that whole thing that we talked about before, where it lays an egg.
Right.
So I was sort of having a look, seeing if I could see any sort of holes in its head, and it just kept sort of moving its one leg, like, oh, I can't handle this.
We've got one big leg.
One big leg at the back now. It's normally got two that it uses to jump.
So you were worried that crickets aren't aware of the dangers of wasps?
I just had a look online and saw that, it's a popular thing that happens. It's sort of like a bit of a mugging. He said you can leave them for about half an hour. They normally come round and they don't know they've had an egg put in their head. But
There's no way it said leave them for half an hour and they come round, they don't have an egg. But there's no way it said
But he
that.
said they normally stun for about half hour.
Have you had an egg put in your head?
Fucking ostrich egg, by the look of it, it's coming out the top.
So anyway, I picked it up, I placed it under a little tree. I said it's in the shade again. No wasps can see it there. Let's just leave it.
But you've just left that cricket to now die in agony when that maggot goes round his head and comes out a wasp and leaves the carcass.
Well, this is when Suzanne came up and said it wasn't moving. I sorted it.
You sorted it.
Just sorted it.
What did
you
you
wanna say
do?
anything
What
else?
did you mean?
Well, I said, what do you mean you sorted it? She said,
Ribs
it's
from
best
the
that I
legs.
don't tell you.
Well, sorry.
I've done. She said she sorted it.
Wait. Do you think that we're in the mafia and we're being wiretapped? Say what happened.
No, well, she just said she sorted it, and I said, what, sorted what? Because I'd forgotten about it at that point, I was painting. And she
Right.
said the cricket.
Right, what do you think she meant by sorted it?
Well, by the look on her face, the way she said it, I've known her for long enough, so I know that she meant it's not good news.
Yeah, so what happened?
So from that, I took for granted she means
Say it!
I've stopped it being, it's no longer in misery.
So what do you mean?
What?
What did she do?
She crushed its head with a stone.
She got a tiny head-shaped stone and
Squashed it, because that's where all the action is, isn't it? So she said it was too cruel watching it sort of shaking about with its one leg and stuff. You had to kill it.
I imagine I had this vision that one day
a giant
Suzanne
wasp.
just having to say to his parents,
I sorted it.
I sorted it.
Well, Karl, you are officially a published author, and a copy will go in the British Library.
Will it?
Well, they have to take every rubbish. I think it'll go in the British Library lavatory. From what I understand, it'll be in there with like a collection of like novelty postcards and maybe
exactly.
a Viz compendium. But, you know.
Yeah, so they take everything. Just think of that.
But why do they do this? Why do they think they've got to keep everything? Because we're living in a world now where everything is sort of binnable, and you know we use stuff
Binnable.
for what it is.
Well,
I think you could say that.
Oh,
It's
that's
binnable,
fine. That's
yeah.
fine.
There was a sort of poetry to it, but I think he stumbled across that. I don't think it was intentional.
Yeah, I mean, I still haven't got over him saying foodage.
Do you know what I mean, though? That the world's changed, so why is that rule still hanging around when...
Well, it's not a rule. I mean, it's not a rule that, you know, the country's going to, you know, live and die by. It's just that it is seen as a repository for knowledge, for information. And I don't believe any old Joe can wander in there and get one of these books. I think you have to either be a scholar. I think maybe it's open for a brief window for students. But, you know, you can just wander in there and see your own book, Carl. You know,
There are
even though
some
you're public.
books that they have to turn the page for you in gloves, so the amino acids.
I hate that.
With yours, it won't matter. They just go, it's over there, or they throw it to you.
No, it's just that
or they
thing
slide it along the floor.
Well, they say, I can't give it to you, Carl, because it's propping up this desk.
Yeah, they kick it to you and say, put it in the bog when you're finished with it.
It's just that thing of being timed, though. I hate it when people go, have you read this? And then I can't read it properly because they're thinking I'm taking ages here. you know what I mean? So I have to scan read it. And I go, oh, it's good, that. And they go, what do you think? And I go, oh, about what? So I'd hate the fact that someone stood there with gloves on, because that isn't normal, relaxing sort of reading, is it?
But it's not, you don't go in to read the Doomsday Book, let's say, in order to just have a relaxing read. You're going in there to study
There
it,
is
historically.
to say they're professors and scholars and scientists and historians. They don't wander in because it's raining and they go, what's a good read?
There's not a man wearing white gloves turning the pages of the latest Jackie Collins.
No, exactly. Do you have heat?
Watching your lips move as you read to see if you can turn the next page.
I suppose I shouldn't really feel guilty, because at the end of the day, right, I mean, people always rave about Shakespeare, saying, oh, you know, his work was good. But
Brilliant.
at the same
He'll
time...
probably put that on the book when he brings another one out. He'll put your review on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. Karl Pilkington.
But
At the same time, you know, like, some people will have a go. I'm ready for people having a go, like that Wendy did about me little films I made. You know,
Their opinion.
So yeah, you didn't actually slammed Carl.
no, well, you know, each to their own and that. And, you know, if everyone liked the same thing, I don't know what we'd do, right?
Sure.
You don't know anything.
So all I'm saying is, everybody raves about Shakespeare. When, if you properly looked at what he did, he invented a lot of swearing words, right? Effing and jeffing and that. Now,
That was one of his.
Well, it's Effin' and Jeffin' and Effin' and Jeffin' Part 2.
But all I'm saying is, for some reason, when things are brought out years ago, people say they're good even though they're not, is what I mean. When I was watching that documentary about the real Indiana Jones,
Brilliant.
they dug out some rocks with drawings on. And they were like, oh, don't damage them, don't mark the paint. And it's like, it's rubbish. It was like a stick fella with a yak. Now, if that was found now, or if a kid showed me that, I'd go, hey, it's not that good. So what I mean is, because stuff's old stuff gets respect.
But you're not judging it on its aesthetic merits, you're judging it on its historical importance.
I don't think that's fair, though, because when that fella drew that, it wasn't old. He did it when he was knocking about.
No, yes, but you must see the difference between you doing a stick man on a wall with a bit of chalk near your local and a cave painting that they date to 10,000 years ago.
Yeah, so in 10,000 years' time, when they find my story, will it gain more respect then than it is now?
No, less.
But why is it?
Because people will more and more realise what a buffoon you are. The more research we do, the more you expose yourself as an empty, egg-headed moron.
That's our friend speaking right there, Ricky Gervais.
No,
he loves you like a brother.
I just think, you've mentioned him before, Steve, this Peeps fella.
Yes.
Has he done anything else apart from a diary? Because now I've done a book and a diary.
That means you're better than Peeps,
Well,
is what you're thinking,
well,
isn't it?
I'm not going to say that until I know, but what else did he do?
Well, Peeps wasn't a writer predominantly. I believe he was, you know, like a bureaucrat or something. But he kept a diary which has since become a historical landmark.
And what did he say in it?
Well, it's again more because it's both well written and it's also an amazing insight into...
A social document as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a social document
I mean,
of that
yours
period.
is a social document, but it sort of revolves around having egg and chips and a cap and seeing a ladybird, which, you know...
But that's today's living. That's
well,
what I'm saying.
his describes the Great Fire of London, which is what it's best
we
remembered
hadn't had
for.
one of them. If we had one, I'd write it down. I'm only writing what's happening. He was just lucky. He was about in London when that happened.
The thing is, if they read your diary, they'd think, well, nothing happened that year. Nothing important in the world happened that year.
Because your diary doesn't just mention... I mean, OK, yes, it does. It fails to mention any disasters in London because we haven't had any. It doesn't mention any world events. It doesn't mention wars in Iraq, terrorism. It doesn't mention anything.
But that's all being wrote about anyway. If you're saying there's a museum that's keeping everything, there's loads of other books for that. Who's looking at the fella whose skulls fell off?
What?
We see. It's interesting, isn't it? A fella's skull has fell off.
What do you mean? His skull has fell off?
It's something to do with circulation.
But what do you mean his skull fell off?
Well, it's in a diary.
But how can a skull fall off? Because it's surrounded by tissue and it's got a brain. How can just his skull... How can it detach itself from all the stuff surrounding it?
He mislaid all his dreams.
But all I'm saying is that's not getting a look in.
No, because it's not significant or probably true.
Carl, you have the same concepts that you worked out and decided that were true at about 10, I think.
I look at life like a
Box
big
of chocolates?
book. Like a big book.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Right? And, you know, sometimes you get halfway through it and you go, even though I've been, you know, been enjoying it, I've had enough. Give us another book.
No. Your metaphor, analogy, whatever you're trying to create there, falls down with "let's have another book."
Yeah.
No. You can either opt out of life or stick with it till the end. You can't go, be someone else now. You can't do that. I know you think you can, and I think in your world you can, you know, you possibly be injected into an old woman's head when you've had enough and you come out a little baby.
What I mean is, at the moment, you know, my life, I'm going to live to 74, 75, right?
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm probably on page... What am I on? A book that's got about 200...
This is painful, Steve. This is really painful. Sorry, carry on.
I'm on... I say my book's got 300 pages in it.
Yeah.
Few pictures and that.
It's a picture book. That's the great thing about Karl's life. It's a book for children.
It's a pop-up book. And it just, every page he pops in, he goes,
What?
I'm probably on, like, page about 170.
Yeah.
He's going to die at 74. Yeah. He's reading a book with a few pictures in with 300 pages and he's on 170. Go on then.
So, right, if the book was too thick, right, and there was loads more pages...
Let me tell you,
left,
this book is way too thick.
Yeah. If the book was more thick, yeah.
The book could not be thicker.
if there was loads more pages left, I'd go, I can't be bothered reading on.
Right. Okay,
But
let him finish the
He must
analogy.
have known that when he saw the book. You
You've got to finish this analogy,
Right.
otherwise we're going to be here all night.
Listen, he must have known how many pages there were when he got the book out of the library.
Yeah, but the way they write books, they paint in pictures more at the beginning, you're going, this is good. And then it gets a bit boring as it goes on, doesn't it?
Okay, well that works. So you're saying that you were young...
No, it doesn't work.
Well,
You just accepted that that's what all books are like.
No, but there's a little bit of poetry in that, because he's actually saying that, you know, when he was young, his whole life was ahead of him. He couldn't wait the whole world, the promise that he was given of this world. And now he's a bit jaded and he's more cynical, and he realises that the world hasn't got as much to offer him as he thought it was. Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Liar. Actually, Karl, you like sayings, don't you? Got a list here of some of the sayings and phrases that Shakespeare made up, really. In a pickle was his.
Yeah.
Well, and we know what in a pickle means.
Yeah, we know what it means. It's a saying I'd never use. Because when you're in a pickle, it's not something that you would say.
No, if you're being if you're captured and you're being tortured for information,
Yeah.
you wouldn't, and you get access to a phone, you wouldn't go, MI5, I'm in a pickle. You'd be screaming, going,
You're taking my teeth now. While you've been talking about that, I just was looking on the computer at the Pun of the Day website. There's a couple that you might like. There was a sign on the lawn at a drug rehab centre that said, keep off the grass.
Okay, now if the pun is the lowest form of wit, and let's face it, sarcasm isn't, sarcasm is up there compared to the pun, then the drug pun, I think, is one of the lowest of the low. Oh, people who congratulate themselves on getting drug references. Keep off the grass, will you? Grass, get it? Grass. No, you're smoking the grass, yeah. I think pun should be short for punch him in the mouth.
Idioms are better.
Go on then, what's an idiom? Is that a new word you made up?
No,
As in Karl Pilkington's a complete idiom.
Yeah.
I found out what it was because I thought, I like them, what are they?
Right.
And it's like little sayings
Yeah, that's right.
that sum stuff up.
Go on, give us an example of your favourite.
Can I just say one, talking about sayings, Karl was getting fed up with something. He was fed up with not getting replies from something. He's having a hard time, you know. And I went, oh, the worm has turned. He went, what? I went, the worm has turned. You know, you've...
Stupid saying, isn't it?
No, okay, tell him why you think that's a stupid saying.
Because how do you know when a worm's turned? Of all the creatures that you could flip over and know it's turned, why pick a worm? It's the worst thing they could have picked to express something turning.
But you're turning literally. It means changing, doesn't it? Changing your attitude. A new broom, turning over a new leaf.
Yeah, but
things
then
are going to
use
be
something that
different now, and
changes.
I'm sick of it.
Chameleon.
No, but
Chameleon is a brilliant thing to use for something to change. Chuck that in a sentence. There's nothing that you can link a worm to human life to. You're talking about something that's It's blind, isn't it? It's blind, it's deaf.
Gay.
It's got no features.
Why is he having such a go at a word?
Just because it's a weird thing to use. Something that its arse is more, it does more than its head.
That could be said of you, Karl, to be fair.
Oh, chimpanzee that. He's gone and written it down again.
Just reading excerpts of Karl's diary. Went home and looked up Freud on the internet. Didn't find him that interesting, so looked at some other philosophers instead. Socrates, Aristotle. Lao Tzu from years ago came up with some good stuff. 1. He who knows does not speak. He who speaks does not know. Not entirely true. To lead people, walk behind them.
Yeah.
And of course, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step.
Did that.
Maybe this is why people are at the start line spectating at the Commonwealth Games.
Well, no, it's just that I've never understood why in Olympics and stuff like that, if you're going to watch, don't stand around the start line, go to the end, where you see the winner. But because of that saying, it actually makes sense. Like, it's like, well, every step starts with a step or whatever.
Say it again?
Every race, you know, you've got to start with a step.
Yeah.
If you want to stay at the start line, do.
What does that mean?
I'm just saying, if you're into, I wouldn't watch a race, right?
Okay.
But all I'm saying is,
right,
if I was to watch a race,
yeah,
I wouldn't hang about the start line because.
Well, you just said you would.
What did I?
Yeah, you said that's the place to start because every race starts with a step.
No, but I wouldn't normally when I was on holiday.
Yeah.
Suzanne said there's a race going on down the road.
Yeah.
I'd go, well, let's go, keep going down the road and stand at the finish line.
Okay, but now what have you
according to
thought?
Lazoo,
Yeah.
I'd say, well, hang on a minute. Every race starts with a single step.
Yeah.
How many people around the start line? Is there more room there? She goes, yeah. I'll go, let's go there then. It's less busy.
Right, and what would you see there then?
I'd see people starting the race, but I wouldn't be that impressed with them because I'd go, well, I don't know if any of these are any good.
So would you start at the start or the end then?
If it was down to me, I'd just probably stay at the finish line.
Okay, so you wouldn't want to see the first step then? So what do you think of Lazoo now then?
I preferred the leading people from behind.
Okay, and what would you do to lead someone now then?
Well, if you're behind, you don't have to take responsibility, do you? You can go, well, I didn't send you where you went there.
That's not really leading them, though, is it?
Yeah, because I've made them think. I've gone, they go, oh, I've just walked into a big hole. I'd go, oh, should have been looking where you're going. I haven't led them in that hole, but they've learnt a lesson, they won't go in the hole again.
That was one of the greatest conversations I've ever been a part of. I mean, that was incredible. Never mind Aristotle and Socrates. That was incredible, that was incredible, Karl.
One of the key catchphrases, if you like, from the war, Karl, was, of course, keep the home fires burning.
Is that like saying, you're away, but don't worry, when you come home, the house is warm?
Pretty much.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Never forget where you're from, we're remembering.
We're here, waiting for you.
Yeah.
Again, it doesn't say what it means, so there's you know, risking your life, and you're getting a letter from home saying we've got the heating on. Again, working hard, paying the bills, they've got the heating blaring. Put your coat on. Start panicking, we're keeping the home fires burning. What? I didn't know, what do you mean, what fire? When have we had that in? I thought we had central heating. Who's she got in? Who's this bloke who's moved in, changed the heating system? It's all extra hassle. Do you know, yeah, this is why it's best not hearing from people. I was in the jungle, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Right? For this programme. Suzanne.
Should explain that Karl wasn't on manoeuvres. We sent Karl around the world for a programme.
Well, hang on, though, I want to hear about the fact he was in the jungle and he didn't want to hear anything from home because...
No, on a lot of the trips, I had a phone now and again, so I could call Suzanne. When I was in the jungle, I was out of contact for like 5 days. Nothing. Didn't know what was going on where. Right? I get out of the jungle, I call Suzanne up. Everything all right? Yeah. What bills have we got? And then I said, how was it? And she said it was reassuring, you know, it was all right, and it's reassuring that if you died, he'd be all right.
What?
That was from Suzanne.
What do you mean? What
Because
was
she sort
reassuring?
of, it was like I was dead for 5 days. She said things weren't that bad. I still got stuff sorted out. It's reassuring.
She said what? She said you called her up after 5 days of being in the jungle, eating grubs and having things try to climb up your knob.
Yeah, surviving.
Right.
There's me, the first phone call I get, I put the phone on. I'm going to call Suzanne, let her know I'm all right.
Sorry, you could get the phone calls in the jungle, but you didn't want to. What do you mean you turned the phone on? I thought you meant you were...
No, it was off because there's no signal.
You got out of the jungle?
You got out of the
I got out of the jungle,
Right.
put the phone on,
Yeah.
thinking, right, I'll call Suzanne, let her know I'm all right. I've been to Ellen back here. Call her up, everything all right. You know, what's it been like? I said, that's the longest we've ever gone, isn't it? I don't think I've ever gone 24 hours without talking to her for 17 years.
Yeah.
Suddenly, there's a week when I'm not talking to her.
Yeah.
She goes, yeah, it started off weird, but it's reassuring that if you were dead, I can handle it. But she said, I sorted everything out still. I could handle it if you weren't here.
What offended you most? The fact that you did that you want her to be dependent on you, or the fact that you realise you make no difference at all in her life.
Well, it's a bit annoying, isn't it? They forget, don't they? The bills weren't as piling up as much as they normally do. That's the only thing they ever get through the door. You know, when there's a postal strike, carry on. I'm not interested. You're only bringing bills to the door anyway. Carry on striking. There wasn't that much post. There wasn't that many bills to sort out. There wasn't problems with the boiler. She's forgetting all this. So I'd like to go back in the jungle, just as the boiler's sort of, the flame starts to flicker, and about to go out. Let's see you then. That's what I'd say to any soldiers listening to this before you leave home.
Yeah.
Just leave everything. Break a few things, don't pay the bills, and then go. And they'll miss you more.
Yeah, well, that's great advice to people overseas. Let me just reiterate that. Next time, when you come home, have a great time with your wife and kids. See your mum and dad and your family. But then, when you've just got to go back into active service, just smash the place up and shit everywhere. Thanks. Carl, what's your thoughts on poetry?
I've never really been a fan of it.
There's a surprise.
It's sold in a bad light. It's a bit sort of... a bit gay, innit? I mean, it depends what sort you're talking about, because maybe there's poetry out there that I haven't heard.
There's some poetry gayer than others.
Yeah.
War poetry can't be gay, can it? That was
I
beautiful.
haven't heard. Go on.
People fighting in the trenches and can't be gay. They weren't gay. They were writing to their sweetheart. I don't know his name. Might have been a bloke. I don't know. But
So was it a sort of a, what sort of poem was it? Was it sort of a limerick, sort of a...
no, it was. Well, there's famous ones, Wilfred Owen and Siegfried Sassoon, and they're very moving. They're about, you know, what usually happens is that they talk about why are we here. This is, you know, we've been sold a lie here, you know, and they really started seeing war in a different light from their point of view in the trenches. Famously, some of them died soon after the, you know.
I prefer
they've written the poem.
a proper letter. No sort of crypticness. That's the problem with poems.
Okay, so you'd have been disappointed to get Dolce et Decorum S through the post, would you? You'd have just said, "What are you trying to say, mate? What's the weather like? When you're coming home? Did you get my socks?"
Well, yeah, sometimes life is a bit like that, and it's like, say what you mean.
Right. Well, then you have just wiped all art off the face of the earth if you literally just say what you mean.
No, I'm just saying in a letter. Say if I was a woman and my fella was fighting in a war.
Right. What's your fella's name?
Harry.
Okay, so Harry, that's right. So when were you married?
About 1935.
1935. So you've been married about 4 years.
Yeah.
Harry, why don't you go off? Oh, you're a woman, aren't you? You don't have the okay. So what did you see in Harry? Why did you like Harry? Was he?
He just was like funny.
Butch.
He wasn't that butch, but that didn't matter back then, did it? In the war.
No. And you
took everyone.
But what did you say when Harry was said to you?
Well, I thought it was coming because a lot of our friends ended up having
Did you
to
just
go
hug him and say don't go or something?
No point, because that would have just made it tough for him. So what's the point? Just go with it.
But if he
I cried after he went.
You cried after he went?
That's what you do, innit? You wouldn't do it in front of him. He's got to go to battle.
Okay, so your man goes off to battle.
Right. Then I get a letter from the colonel saying, "Oh, bit of bad news. Harry's dead." Now, I get a letter in the post...
He said what he meant, didn't he, in the...
Well, yeah, and they would do, wouldn't they? They wouldn't fanning around saying, oh, he was on the warpath and the cloud went dark. I go, what? Just tell me what happened. I don't want a weather forecast.
He got shot at the arse and the bullet came out his head.
Right. Now, the colonel, he would just tell me the basics. Now, because he sent his by...
Telegram?
Telegram. They sent a telegram. The letter I get from Harry has been stamped, so I get it late.
Oh, okay.
So I get a letter from Harry after he's died.
Yeah. Right, and you know he's dead.
I know he's dead, so I get this letter with his handwriting on. I'm devastated because I was just getting over his death.
Yeah.
It's all brought back to me when this letter drops through the post.
Well, yeah, 3 days and you're pretty much over it.
It's Harry's handwriting.
Yeah.
Oh, God, what's this?
What's
I
he
open
written?
it.
Yeah.
And instead of saying, things are bad here, socks are damp, you know, everything's grim, it's cold, I'm sick of it, there's a poem. It wouldn't feel like it was from Harry.
Well,
because it's not in his words. Poems are never in the person's words.
But didn't you know Harry was a poet when you married him and made love to him
No,
that
I
night?
picked it up because other people were doing it. Something to do in the trenches.
But when he carried you over the threshold, Carl, and he laid you down and gently kissed you, didn't he say any? Didn't he ever?
He must have whispered some sweet nothings into
No, it
your
wasn't
spherical
like
red
that.
head.
It wasn't like that. Straight to the point. It was like, get your knickers off.
That's one of the weirdest fucking scenarios I've ever heard. Was the telegram coming before the letter? So specific. It wasn't like Harry. The fuck's Harry? Oh God.
What are you doing?
Try to calm my gums down.
Well, you don't do it with water.
What do you do it with?
You're trying to
You do it
calm your
with
guns.
you do it with meditation and hard drugs.
What's the problem with your gums?
When I'm stressed out, my teeth know.
What? What do you mean?
Say that again.
When I'm sort of stressed out, me gums and my teeth know before I do. It's like a weakness.
So what's up? You got a toothache then? I thought you went to the dentist.
I did the other week.
Well, what's wrong with your teeth then? It's just because you're stressed.
I don't know.
Why are you stressed? What have you got to be stressed about?
I don't know. That's what's weird with stress, isn't it?
No.
Your body can be stressed without you realising. That's what
No, you're
kills people.
stressed. No. You're stressed because you feel stressed, and then your body gets weak because you're.
No, because I'm pretty good. I never feel stressed. That's part of my problem.
It's not
I
a
am
problem.
stressed, but I don't know about it. That's
But
why
that
it's
doesn't make any sense at all.
It's the #1 killer.
What do you
never
mean?
get stressed.
If you don't feel stressed, how are you stressed?
But you must be stressed if your teeth
Right.
are telling
It's
you
like
you're stressed.
saying I didn't feel I had a pain, but apparently I did.
Listen,
Go on.
I was in Israel recently. I had a bag put over my head, chucked in the back of the van. Now the thing is, I kind of thought, well,
It
this
wasn't a
isn't-
blind date, by the way, and he wasn't being arrested or kidnapped. It was a training thing, wasn't it, for
Yes,
kidnap
but
situations?
I didn't know.
What, you didn't know they were going to do it?
No, they don't tell me anything, do they?
So what happened then?
So the thing is, that happened. I had a panic on a little bit. Afterwards, they took the bag off. I realised everything was all right. I was calm. My body was shaking. And that's what I'm
That
saying
doesn't make
to you.
any sense.
My body, as far as my body was concerned, it had just been kidnapped.
Right.
But I knew I hadn't.
You know the bag they put over your head? Was it like a tennis racket cover? What shape was it?
You sure they just didn't go and thought, oh, I thought I just bought the world's biggest orange? Do you ever get recognised much?
Yeah, now and again. But I haven't done anything of any worth, have I? It's almost like recognising a neighbour or something, because they sort of go, it's him. And then the other one might go, what's he do? Oh, I don't know. It's not like I've done something
Right, of any worth.
yet.
Yeah.
I think you're forgetting all those emails I passed on to you for those people that have had traumas in their lives. You know, the earthquake victims. There's people that have lost relatives or had, you know, terrible life-threatening diseases, and they say the podcast got them through. Doesn't that warm the cockles of your heart?
Well, normally it's gone straight to you, hasn't it? And you just forward it me on, so it's almost like spam to me. It doesn't feel as special because it's like, here you go, look at this, you know.
Unbelievable.
I've watched the World Cup a few times with Ricky. The last time we qualified, we were doing a project, and we watched it together in a hotel room.
But, of course, in a hotel room, it was just like a big bed. So we sat on the bed together, and we thought that was a bit intense. So I put a line of pillows down.
But I don't understand what... he was put a line of pillows between us. Now, he knows I'm not going to jump on him.
No, I know.
He's not going to jump on me.
No.
But he's still terrified that some kind of paparazzi is going to sort of parascend down the building and peer in and take a photo of us. And that's before we've got time to explain that we're just watching the football. It's already printed going, well, this is clearly evidence of their game. Yeah. There's no way that they could possibly be sat on a bed just as friends.
No, but hold on, though. Why were we naked? Why didn't we just pop some trousers on?
But I seem to remember that you, even though it was my room, you forced me to sit in the chair. It was one of those really uncomfortable box chairs.
I said, it's weird. I can't get excited. We're having a beer, OK? So now we're drinking. Now we're drinking in bed. On the bed. No. We had our clothes on. We're on the bed watching football. But I couldn't go, come on, England, with a little man sitting next to me in bed.
Not little man at all.
No, big man. And so I just thought, let's pop the pillows down. That wasn't enough. I said, Steve, I can't do this. I can't watch football with a man on a bed. I said, so go in the chair. And he sat in
so I sat in his chair, which is, if you're a man of my size, those tiny little crappy hotel box chairs are no good. It's 90 bloody minutes plus the interview. It was my room. I was furious.
I felt like I was, like an old rich man just waiting to die, and my little manservant used to come and sit and watch football with me in the last days of my time. Carl, would you sit on a bed, right, with Stephen in a hotel room, right, watching football, okay? You're pouring each other wine and beer and shouting.
Well, no, there wasn't that music playing. There was the roar of the crowd and John Motson doing commentary. It wasn't. It's not a sexy sound at all.
What do you think, Carl? Someone said, "Oh, come to my room. We're watching football." You got there, and he went.
Well, who was on the bed first?
That's not what happened.
Who was on the bed first?
Well, he probably got up to answer the door. So I don't know. I came in. I thought, well, there's only a bed here. We sat down. We thought, yeah.
No, but it wasn't. There was a chair there. So
well, yeah, but you know full well that if you're in a room with Ricky, he's the one who's going to leap straight on the bed and demand that you
just take the chair.
Well, why would you be concerned with lying on a bed next to me?
What's up with that?
Just a bit weird, isn't it?
Why is it weird? I don't understand this.
Because
I've changed my tune.
It's a bit weird lying on a bed with a mate just watching football.
Yeah, you don't like when you go around a house, do you?
Yeah, but it's because you have a sofa and things. We didn't have that in the room.
Yeah, but when you visit someone in hospital, you don't say, move over. You don't pop yourself down next to him, you sit on the chair next to him.
No, because you're not there in a relaxed situation for 90 minutes enjoying a game of sport. It's just a more formal environment. Because you're quite a sport fan, aren't you, Carl?
Yeah, but not in... I don't like getting into things too much. Because it can only be disappointing.
True. I've never seen him get into anything, to be quite honest.
No, I am a football fan, but I've got it now to a point where if they lose, it only bothers me for about half an hour.
Yeah.
And then I move on. Because the thing is, I'm not in control of it. There's nothing I can do to alter that team. If I could go in and say, listen, you're lazy, you get your finger out, you move up front a bit, it's different, but it's totally... It's like getting annoyed with nature. There's nothing you can do. So let it happen, watch it if you want, but don't get annoyed about it, because it's totally out of your hands.
Interesting that Carl's team tactics also sounds like he could be directing a gay porn. You get your finger out, you get up front. You're lazy.
That's amazing. What do you think of these people, though? I love it that everyone's an expert. Everyone's a pundit. You see these fat people in pubs going, well, he's lost a few yards up front. Yeah, you fucking score a goal then, fatty.
Wearing a football top.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Exactly, yeah.
They shouldn't make them for them. They shouldn't make them in that size. It should be one size only. If you're fit enough to play football, you can wear one. You're a fatty, you're not. It looks ridiculous anyway.
But what's that? What are you talking about?
So you were a big fat slob with his belly out in an England shirt going, I could score from there. Go on then, let's have a go.
If Fat Bob in the pub, he's got his football top on. He gets all annoyed when England, lose.
Yeah.
What difference does it make? What difference does it make if they lose there or lose in the final?
Well,
what's the point?
Well, I'll tell you what difference it makes. I knew a Fat Bob, OK? That wasn't his name, but I'm changing the name to protect the innocent. And him. And he's not innocent, right?
Was it Fat Dave?
It was a big fat bloke, right? And he worked on one of the crews that used to bring in equipment where I used to work at the Students' Union, OK? and he was massive, right? And I think it was 1992, the Euro, right, when England got knocked out, and he went mental. And he was so angry, he went out and he wanted retribution, okay? Luckily, there were no German people around, but the closest he could find was a sausage van. So poor bloke who delivered sausages, and he turned it over. He got the van and he turned it over, because it was selling sausages, so he thought that's German enough.
No, well, if he's fat, he's probably just annoyed that it wasn't open.
I think I first became really excited by the World Cup that famous year when Maradona did the handball. Do you remember, what was that, 1986?
Yeah.
Oh, that was so exciting. Because obviously he'd been so brilliant in that tournament. And then he did cheat, as we all know.
Yeah.
Isn't cheating part of all games now?
Hang on, here we go,
hold
this
on,
is controversial. There's a lot of young people who look up to Karl as a role model.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the world we live in now, isn't it? It's get what you can, how you can.
But what's your feeling? Are you the sort of person... I mean, have you ever cheated in a game? Are you that sort of person?
I just think my dad does it a lot.
What, in board games and that?
Yeah, just cards, Monopoly.
How does he cheat at Monopoly?
Just nicks a lot of the money.
Oh, just straightforward nicks the money. I hadn't thought of that. I love that.
But how do you not notice him doing it? He
Because
doesn't.
I'm busy looking at, you know, what properties I've invested in and stuff. And the money's just there, isn't it?
See, I don't see the point of cheating.
No, I
at
don't. I
Monopoly.
say that to him. I say, you're kidding yourself. Kidding yourself. But to him, he's broke the system, hasn't he? He's got round the rules. What do you mean I can only have that much? Who says I can? Bosh. Get some more money. Buy some more hotels. And in a way, that's life, isn't it? All people with loads of money now, you kind of go, have they made that honestly?
Right.
You know, I pass big houses in London and I think, gangsters, got to be gangsters to have a house like that.
Yeah.
There's no way a normal job, someone who's... Because I know, I'm trying to make money. And I know how hard it is to make money. Because the more money you make, the more hands are out there, taking little bits. So how the hell has this man bought this house? It's got to be a crook.
So do you yourself cheat? Would you consider yourself a cheater? Are you honourable?
In games?
Well, just generally, do you cheat on anything?
No, do you know what? The other week, I'd had a cup of tea and some fish and chips at this pub, and they only took for one. And I went back the next day and said, oh, you didn't charge me for my fish and chips.
What a fucking moron.
I paid. No, I didn't tell her about the tea then.
Got a free tea?
The free tea, yeah. I just thought, well, you know, it's pretty good that I've gone back to pay for that. How much is a tea bag? The water's free.
Yeah.
I'll have that for free. So that, again, that's just me. It's like the Mars bar and the paper round. It's me going, well, I've been good. The fish would have cost money. Potatoes are pretty cheap, but I'll pay for it. But for my goodness, it's a little gift. Have a free cup of tea. If she was good at her job, she'd have remembered. I thought she would have done. In a way, it annoyed me that she didn't go, oh yeah, so you did, well done, thank you very much for coming back.
Right.
She just was like, did you?
Not
She
enough
looked at me.
gratitude. I know what you mean.
She looked at me like we didn't even know.
Yeah.
I was worrying about a staff member
Getting
sort
fired
of
or
getting
something.
done
Yeah.
or having to pay for it.
I know where you're coming at there.
One of my first disappointments with football, I was 10 years old, okay, and one of the teachers was in charge of the football team, my junior school, and I went down to Tutty's, it was, a shop in Reading with Mum. So it's white socks, black shorts, white shirt. Got that. Knocked on his door. I said, I've got my kit. He went with a trouser yesterday. He missed it. That was it for a year. Right? Next year, wear the trousers, got the trousers, okay? He was going, everyone, I want to give it 100%, right? Really try hard. He's watching people play, right? I made sure that every time I ran by him, I was out of breath. Really trying. Every time I ran by him, he sort of looking at me, I think, yeah, right. Came to it, he said, the team is this, I'm left out, right? He went past me, and he went, you've clearly got asthma.
So you didn't make that team either?
Yeah, and I didn't, and I vowed that day, never try hard at anything.
Yeah, well, you've certainly kept that up.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on that, Karl?
Do you play sport at school?
A little bit, but it was never taken seriously at school anyway. It was, I think the PE teacher was a geography teacher as well. So it's like, you know, what does he know? It was all that. Basically, he put some tracksuit pants on that were always too tight for him. He'd see everything.
What were you looking at?
Because you couldn't help it. It was in the days when clothing was tight as it is, and then it was like lycra tracky bottoms.
Oh, right.
And everyone used to say, look and stay at that.
But like he's stealing sausages from
It was ridiculous, ridiculous. So he didn't know what he was doing anyway. If anything, it was dangerous, because he didn't know what was the capability of a 10-year-old kid's body. He put you through loads of stuff.
Right.
He didn't like me anyway, because I wasn't that good. If you're not that good, teachers don't like you.
I thought you'd be pretty good.
I wasn't interested. That's the thing. I did relay, and I got done for swearing. Got whacked on the arse with a baton.
Hold on, why were you swearing in relay? When did that come into it? When did you need to swear in relay? You're running round, don't they?
Because the lads wouldn't slow down, so I couldn't pass it on, so I sort of said, I can slow down, and then he heard me, and then went mental at me. But yeah, so it was never... I mean, Darren Campbell, the athlete, I've told you, I don't know that I was involved in his training.
No. Didn't know about this.
Yeah, Darren Campbell, I think he won a gold medal.
Didn't he used to push you around in a bath or something?
It's not last of the summer wine. It was in my go-kart.
Right.
And it was a motorised go-kart, and you had to like pick it up at the back, run with it at speed, and then drop the wheels down.
Well, no, we should explain, people don't know, he was the bloke who used to push the bobsleigh in the Winter Olympics, wasn't he, for the England team?
No, he was a runner.
Well, how was that part of his training then, pushing a fucking go-kart?
What was he doing?
Because it's running.
But he's running about a yard.
No, sometimes more than that. Quite a lot. And it's just... God, what do you want? It's Darren Campbell pushing me go-kart.
Yeah, but you seem to be taking half the credit for his gold medal. All you've done is sat on your arse, you lazy twat.
I just kind of think he was at the age where it's important. He could have made a decision not to go into it at that point, and I think he was never keen to get in the go-kart.
Yeah.
He was always keen to push it, and I used to let him. And if I said, no, I don't want you pushing me go-kart, who knows? I'm just saying I was there at the start.
Doing nothing. Providing nothing.
Sitting on your arse.
Sitting around.
Well,
letting someone else
all right,
do it.
what athletes have you helped?
You've not helped him.
I bet if he ever did a book, an autobiography, he'd go, the early years, Darren Campbell.
No, I want to know if he has done an autobiography, because we're going to be looking this up.
I remember the training.
I'm making a note of that
In
for
all
the next
weather.
time we do anything.
Round at Pilkington's,
Darren Campbell.
pushing a go-kart.
Pushing bald in crap, cheap
Wasn't.
go-kart.
120 quid it was. You know how many paper rounds that is?
What I like when you're watching football on the television is if it goes to a close-up of a footballer, it's just kick the ball out, missed the goal, it's gone for a free kick or whatever. If you stay on any footballer for more than 10 seconds, they will either swear or gob.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's a fact.
Oh, yeah. I've never needed to gob that much. I don't care how knackered I am, I'm never gobbing like that.
It's weird though. The other week, I just sat in the garden, slavering, just to see if it would ever run out. And it's amazing. I don't know where it all comes from.
What is the strangest...
extraordinary.
That's amazing.
Just to see if it would run
So
out.
now he's got to the point in his life where, as a hobby or a pastime, or just to count down the minutes before he dies,
Yeah.
he sat in the garden
Creating sputum.
slavering to see if he'd ever run out. I mean, that's
But
amazing,
where's it all
Carl.
come from?
Well, you create it, don't you?
But from what? I'm always getting done for not drinking enough water.
Salivary glands.
But it's amazing. Honestly, I just sat like that with my head forward and just let it drip.
Wow.
me!
So Suzanne
That
comes
is
into the garden
like
and all
a
she sees is
lobotomy
her
patient.
boyfriend sat like something from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, like someone had been
dribbling.
battered around the head with a cricket bat.
No, she was reading
Did you
something. She
answer
was
back
sat
to a
there.
dictator?
Yeah.
What did he do? Battered me.
But
You've got a trench up your arse as well. Yeah, that makes me slather.
No, just sat there.
What a fucking
That's
mom.
extraordinary.
What a div you are.
And I just had my head there and it continuously... I think I got bored of it before it stopped.
this? Oh, God, it's unbelievable. He just sat there with his head down, slavering, letting it just...
That's extraordinary.
You weren't even sort of like gobbing, you were just letting
it sort of drop.
So
You've got nothing else going on in your life that you've got time to do this.
So your brain wasn't even engaged.
How long were you there for?
I tell you what, no joking, probably a good 15 minutes.
15 minutes of sitting with his head forward,
Amazing.
letting him salivate onto the grass.
But do you reckon you could do that amount?
I would
Well,
never
we
do
never
it.
try.
Never
we
do
never
it.
try.
I'd
I've
never have that amount of time.
I tell you now, you will never see either of us sat there for no reason in the garden with our head forward and our mouth open, seeing how long we can create saliva.
Unless I've just come out of a coma.
yeah, or a gas attack.
Yeah.
No, I have a lot of... I'm sort of goes unlimited.
That's a great new dance duo. Please welcome to the stage. It's Goz Unlimited. Amazing. What do you think about George Best using up his liver, then getting another one and getting pissed at him?
Well, that's always going to encourage it, isn't it? I've always said that.
What?
The moment we can replace stuff, people just go, oh, sod it. Like
What would
smokers.
you do if you gave someone a kidney and
Mess
then
with it.
and they started just
Someone's down the pub again.
doing drugs and shit and...
Well, I wouldn't hand it out to someone just like that, would I? I think you should be allowed to say, right, who's it for? Can I meet them?
Right.
And then have a chat with them,
Right.
saying, have you learnt your lesson?
Well, I'm going to do it. Okay. I'm a little kid who wants a kidney. Okay. And you've come to me. I'm at the top of the list. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. Are you going to give me one of your kidneys so I can live?
I don't know,
Well, I'm at the top of the list, so why's your head so round?
Right, so definitely not.
Why? He's a
Definitely
little
not.
kid.
Look
He's
at
a
him,
little kid.
pale.
But I need a
He's
kidney.
cheeky though, isn't he?
No,
Cheeky.
please,
Lovely
please,
little kid.
roundhead.
What will
Please, can I have your kidney?
No, you can't.
Oh,
have it.
come on,
Right,
you've got
let's see
two.
another kid. Let's see another kid.
No,
Lesson
I'm the top.
learned,
I'm
lesson
top of the
learned.
fucking list. Give me one of your kidneys, you round-headed twat.
No. I would not feel bad about walking away from that kid and saying you cannot have a kidney.
So you're gonna.
Do you know what? I'm going to take this kidney out and bin it.
Hey, wait. Do you know who that kid went on to become?
Go on.
Winston Churchill.
Right, well, maybe I helped. It's like Darren Campbell all over again. I made him stronger. I was tough with him. He saw how tough the world is.
No, but he didn't. This is an alternative universe where he died because you never gave him that kidney.
Yeah.
Well, you can't worry about that then, can you? If you're going to start going that far back and forward and stuff. But I think... I don't know what I'd expect someone to be like. Just want them to go, what do you eat? I'd say, write down your diet.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna treasure this kidney. I'm gonna treasure it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna really work hard, and I'm gonna make something like more than you did.
So I'll...
your kidney's gonna be a lot better off for me than you lazy tosser. I'll tell you that. If you want achievement, then I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna do really well. Unlike you thick little round-headed shit. So the quicker you get the fucking kidney out of your Eustace body and into mine, we'll all be happy, won't we?
Okay. Well, I'll go away and think about it for a month.
Well, no.
There you go. Don't have to get nasty. Sick of it. I'm always helping people out.
That's a big ask, isn't it? Would you give anyone a kidney, Carl? Suzanne?
I'm sure he would give Suzanne a kidney.
It's tricky.
Well, obviously you'd give Suzanne a kidney, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Well, would you, or are you just saying that?
Suppose I would. I don't really like the idea of it.
So if what are you saying to Suzanne right now?
Bit of good luck. I need a kidney, and it's got quite rare. Well, we've got the same sort of blood group and everything, so yeah, you've got two, I've got none. Bibbidi bob, one each. Let's have a good life. Yeah.
Don't know. Yeah, you'll have to have it. Which one are you thinking of going for? Because I think the right one's a bit dodgy because they had the kidney stones.
Well, you keep that.
Do you want that one?
I'll have the left one.
No, I'll tell you what. You have that one because when I was in all the pain, you were going, it can't be that bad. So you have it. It's in good working order. They've looked at it.
Yeah.
But it is prone to stones.
The
using this to get back at her for saying it can't be that bad. It's like poetic justice. He can give her the kidney she didn't believe was that painful.
Don't like talking about it. It's all... it freaks me out. Freaks me out. It's all doing stuff now. The kidney's doing stuff.
Yeah.
My teeth are hurting still. Still got a little bit of toothache going on there. I've got a sweat on. All stuff's going on without me knowing. Germs whizzing round. I've had jabs for rabies. I've had hepatitis A and B. I don't know what that does. I've had A and I've had B. That's whizzing round my body. Body's in shock, innit, at the moment. It doesn't know what's going on. I've had...
How is it notifying you of the shock?
Well, I think, like I say, I keep getting this sweat. And, what else have I had? Typhoid. Doesn't that, all this stuff shouldn't be in my body, should it? And we don't really know, do we? You're saying, yeah, have this, have that, shove it in your arm, it's alright. But we don't really know. Long-term effect. I've got rabies in me. I never thought I'd have to have that. Tetanus. TB. One for if I get bit by a dirty monkey. Been a weird year, hasn't it?
Go on.
No, I'm just saying, you know, when you look at it like that over a year,
Yeah.
just a lot of stuff has gone on. That's...
What stuck out for you?
If you were doing your own review of the year, what would you put on the front cover?
The grub. That was eating biscuits on the windowsill.
Right.
Just because, you know, it's... I never thought I'd see that this year.
So
it was just... I was there on the computer. I was having a cup of tea and a biscuit. I put the biscuit on the windowsill. I sort of picked it up.
Why would you do that?
Why?
Why would you put a biscuit on a windowsill?
Because I'm sat next to the windowsill.
It's like something from a cartoon. I put the pie on the windowsill to cool down.
Yeah.
Oh,
And some ruffians stole it.
Yeah.
So I was eating that and was enjoying it. Put the rest of it back down for like the next half of the cup of tea. And I saw...
Planned out. This is... I bet, well, we'll read about this later in the diary.
So, and then I saw just like a little crumb moving. I was like, what's going on there?
Yeah.
So I looked down closer and there's an insect that is see-through, but with legs. And just sort of running off with a crumb into like a little hole. And then when I looked, I noticed there was loads of these little see-through things. And they were obviously all like, oh, we got biscuit. And
that's exactly what they were saying. They were going, biscuits over here.
But I can't, what was it, like I say, it was amazing because they're miles away from what I'm about, and yet
not that far.
But they still like a bit of biscuit, and it was just weird that happened. And that's what's nice, isn't it? That's what's nice about the nature of the world. You know, we can invent iPods, we can bring out better vacuum cleaners. But at the end of the day, you can't make nature up. And to see this see-through thing eating a biscuit, that's where I've sort of gone this year. I'd say out of anything, I've sort of gone out of my way to learn more stuff about weird stuff that's out there.
I don't know what you've learned. You've learned that...
a creature which you can't even identify or name.
You don't know, right? You don't know what it is, or looked like it nicked a bit of crumb. I don't know what knowledge is that. What is that? How is that useful?
Just because everything is changing.
But it's not useful. It's not useful to you, and it's not useful to anyone. You can't pass on that as knowledge because we don't know what it was,
but Karl
or where
thinks,
it happened, or why it happened.
But Rick, Karl thinks that the grub has an inkling, has a taste for McVitie's in the same way that Karl does. That's what he's from makes. He's thinking, I can't believe it. We both love hobnobs.
No, as opposed to just being taking the starch from the flour.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that these things have been around for years.
Yes.
Maybe longer than us.
Yes.
Right? Now, their life isn't changing in the way that ours have. They still live in a little crack in the wall.
Yeah.
But they're eating biscuit. And that was never meant to happen. The squirrels in the park, because people are feeding them Mars bars and everything, they're getting fatter, they're getting bigger, they're getting more violent. Now, over time, you know, they're going to cause more trouble than they are now.
What evidence have you got that they're getting more violent?
Just because when I'm sat in the park and what have you, they're really like cocky. They come up to you now and sort of jump up on the bench and sort of attack you for food. They're not happy with acorns now. They want a bit of croissant. And that's what I'm saying. They've changed. They're changing over time. Just like that grub having a biscuit. Everything's trying different food out.
He'll want a gatto soon.
Everything's getting more intelligent. The goldfish memory's got better. Chickens are more intelligent than people thought they were, apparently. Everything's... Time makes you more intelligent.
Well...
No, they do. That's a fact, isn't it? If you're knocking around longer, then you're learning more, because more stuff's going on, and you soak it up. And that's what these insects are doing. They're all learning. You know what I mean?
No.
I saw a cockroach playing Pac-Man. It was on the internet, right, and somebody had linked up a cockroach to some... I can't even be bothered explaining it, but that's what I'm saying. Everything's moving on.
Yeah, but Pac-Man's like such an old hat game, man. It's like from the 1980s.
Yeah, that cockroach is so... Oh, God. Get a life, man.
Hello, PlayStation 3.
Hello.
Hello.
Yesterday's cockroach.
Oh.
Fucking hell.
All I'm saying is, I do watch a lot of insects and stuff, and you never see them wasting time. They're always doing something. An ant's carrying something somewhere. Sometimes I watch it and it goes somewhere and comes back again. You think, does it know what it's doing? But at least it's trying.
What do you...
Now, if there was a...
What is it doing, though? What is that ant doing?
Work. It's building a house or...
What's the point? It's everything it does is pointless.
How can you say that?
It's pointless.
I'll tell you what, if there was a bigger sort of being looking over the world and they went, right, let's look at the human race. And, well, they'd look at the ants first and they go, right, they've got their hands full. They're carrying big stuff. They try to save time by carrying stuff that's way too big for them, really. They could do that between three of them. But they don't. They're all grafting hard. Then they go, right, hit the human button. They hit the human button, they watch the humans. The amount of people who are just sat about doing now, Lily Allen in London at 2 a.m. So what? What are we doing?
I agree with you, but what are you doing?
You see, the ant analogy, joking aside, I think there you hit on the fact that life is about working for what you get. And I'm right behind that. I am right behind that. I think that's... I think that's absolutely true.
That's what I meant. What's dangerous is...
A boiling kettle to an ant.
At the end of the day, right... Yeah, but that's evil, isn't it?
What?
You know, I mean, you sometimes make out as if I'm an evil man. We had an ant problem in the garden. Suzanne said, we've got to get rid of these. And I said, well, it's a bit out of order. They are outside. She said, yeah, but there's getting a lot of them. She went and popped the kettle on. I said, I can't handle this. I went in, right?
What? You didn't want to see the ants burn? That's sweet. You know, they're there.
Yeah, they might be causing a problem, but... I don't want to see this mess. Now, the thing is, she went out, she poured the hot water on it. I left it a few minutes. I went out, had a cup of tea, I thought, it's a waste of electrical light. So I took my cup of tea out there, and I'm sat there, and then I just saw one come back from wherever it had been. One ant. He looked devastated. Because that had been away. As far as that was concerned, it had been out to get a leaf or whatever. Came back, devastation. And it's that's the thing. He summed up death for me. That the ants that are dead, they didn't know anything. Suddenly they were there. Next minute, load of water, dead. It's the people who are still living in life that are the saddest, aren't they? After death. And that summed it up.
What do you think?
That ant would have been better off being there when it happened.
How could you tell the ant was...
What do you think? So you saw him...
I mean, they run around in circles anyway, don't they? But this was just kind of going, what's going on?
And what did it slow down when it got nearer the nest? Did it drop the leaf and then you see it run the last few inches?
It just kind of got close and it was like a double take almost. Almost like it got near the hole and then it was like, hang on a minute, this can't be it, there's no one's around. And then it walked on and it went, no, it is the hole. And it went back and it just sort of stopped for a minute.
Ah.
And that for me, that's the sort of thoughts. Things that you can look at as a human and appreciate it and understand it and go, yeah, that's true, that is like life. Instead of, oh, am I awake? Am I asleep or what? No. But you might as well be asleep because you're doing nothing else.
Oh, God!
I was in the supermarket recently, just just walking past the condoms, and you never know when you're going to run out of balloons. and I was weird because the condoms in the supermarket are contained in a kind of cage, in a plastic cage, so it makes it all the more embarrassing buying them. So I'm trying to open this thing, and this guy who works there, sort of this middle-aged guy who works there, goes, you have to take that to the checkout. So you can't open that yourself. And so I just left it. I thought, forget it. I'm not gonna take these to the counter, because you never know. It's like if you get served by a woman, it's still a bit embarrassing, particularly if that's all you're buying. Because she knows what you're up to. You're gonna fill her up with more and throw it at students. And anyway, the reason I mention this is because it reminded me of the conversation we've all enjoyed in the past, Rick, about when Karl bought for his girlfriend for Christmas. Was it a
2-pack?
A 2-pack of
what was it?
condoms?
Wasn't it about buy one get one free?
Yeah.
So that was a couple of years ago, Karl, the famous condom gate. Have you bucked your ideas up since then?
I just think that as time goes on, you don't sort of buy each other as many presents.
Sorry, that was a bumpy year, was it? That was a hell of a. She went. Oh, I remember when you used to buy me stuff like condoms. It's gone downhill since then.
Well, no, she
your
didn't know
presents.
she was getting them. What I mean is, there's less.
Of course,
surprises.
she didn't.
That's what I mean. Though it was sort of interesting to when I gave them her and said, "There you go, open them." She was not expecting that. And as time goes on...
No, she was probably expecting a piece of jewellery or a holiday in Paris.
It's more difficult, is what I mean, to surprise someone, isn't it, over time.
No. But the surprise thing is meant to always be a good surprise.
Yeah, but don't... If you always get something good, it's like the 3 wise men. What did they get the second year for little baby Jesus? You know what I mean? Once he's had that gold, it's like... I've sort of made it hard work for myself there. I've got to get him something better than that now. So it's best to give him the myrrh.
The next year, get him the gold.
It's like how you know how, like, people make a big thing out of, having it away for the first time. And they go, oh, I'm going to do that tonight. Not the way to do anything. You won't get anything done by planning.
That's a quote! That's an amazing quote! That'll be up there with Newton and Churchill. You don't get anything done by planning. So, what's the big thing of this year? What's the big thing so far? You'll go, oh yeah, that was the year that...
I haven't really been following what's going on because of other like, personal
Well, yeah,
issues.
what's the big... OK, what's the
Just
big thing?
my boiler's playing up still. Sick of it.
Your what?
My boiler.
Your boiler?
The boiler that heats the water up and stuff. But it doesn't.
You know what I do in that situation? I'd instantly get a repairman out to sort it out.
Done that twice. It was 80 quid for him just to say, it looks like you need a new one.
Why did you get a new one then?
Call out. Because then you wondered, are you meant to believe him or is he out to sort of...
Well, he's the expert.
Yeah, but is he? It's like you're meant to get a second opinion, aren't you? Like.
So that was the first time then. So what was the second time? Who came out the second time?
Same fella.
And what did he say?
Well, I thought you were going to get a second opinion.
Yeah,
and also
I called the company and they just sent him again because it.
Well, call a different company.
What was his second opinion? 80 quid.
I undercharged you. It's 150.
No, because they must look in the book and sort of go, oh, Harry went round there or whatever, and they must think, well, he went there last time, so he knows the situation.
Yeah.
And got the same fella again.
Well, and got the same opinion, I assume.
Same answer, yeah.
So what's his advice?
He just said, there are people out there who will touch it if you pay the right money.
Well, okay, so you're going to get an expert in who does this thing and sorts it out. So.
Well, no, I called up my dad.
Oh yeah.
He always knows someone who can sort stuff out. And he said, one of your cousins is a boiler man, and yeah, they're coming round, but I've never met them. And it turns out that person, because like the whole family, I'm not into sort of keeping in touch with people.
Sure.
I haven't spoken to my brother for like, I don't know, 12 years, and sister about 15 years, and that. So. The idea of this cousin, who he might as well not have said he's my cousin, because I'm not going to know him anyway. I mean, that last fella, Harry, might as well be related. So they're going to turn up, and now it turns out that because they haven't seen the rest of the family, they're going to, use this as a reunion.
Oh. What, so they're all going to come round whilst...
They're all coming round.
Whilst he fixes the boiler?
Yeah. And I hate family things anyway.
So they're going to come round and just look at you?
Well... Yeah, apart from the one who's fixing it, he'll be fixing it, and the others will just be sat around, sort of going, so, how have you been? It's like, well, where do you start? I haven't seen... seriously, they are strangers. When they buzz, I could be letting anyone in. They buzz the door.
And so you're going to entertain them all in your flat?
Well, I said to my dad that I might just say that I've got to go to a meeting, let them in, and then shoot off. And all it's going to do is dig up problems, innit? If my cousin was Einstein, very nice.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's
If
going to
your
add
cousin
extra
was
pressure.
Einstein, then you really are an underachiever.
No, but do you know what? If he was, I'd know about it.
I don't reckon you would know about it.
I reckon
don't
I would.
reckon your family would be that impressed with Einstein.
They would have stayed in touch.
He
would
was
they?
always the weird one with the scruffy hair and his tongue out.
Yeah. I remember our early ambition was to actually be educational as well as hopefully entertaining, and I feel perhaps at times we've perhaps slightly shortchanged listeners in terms of what they're learning.
Well, they're not learning anything because also, even as, compared to Karl, we are educated, but we're guessing a lot of the stuff, and he flummoxes us, sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun trying to be pompous and professorial enough just to fight Karl's ignorance.
I think we've learned more new words from Karl than we've learned anything else.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of the made-up words, perhaps more than ever before. And also some of the most abstract conversations I think we've ever had. I mean, Karl's, as he gets older, becomes more and more arrogant and confident.
He said a new one to me the other day. There was a problem downloading, and he said they've added to the fuckerage. Which is good.
Yeah.
No, I reckon the stuff we know is enough now, and all we tend to do is find problems.
All the mysteries still in the world. The mind-body problem.
What a prick.
How to save the world.
Yeah, but we're not, are we? We know it's dying. We don't know how to fix it.
Not yet, we don't.
Turn your lights off.
But then we
You
didn't.
turn yours off. Just get sick of it. Leaflets through the door all the time. Turn your eating off. Turn the lights off. Living like a mole.
I love his little internal dialogues out loud. They're fantastic. The little discussions he has with himself. Oh, I can't wait till he's old. That's going to be amazing, us three. When we're about 75, 80, he's fucking moaning. Oh, we're in a little home together. Just fucking... Fucking hell. Oh, Karl. Do you remember when you were 73?
No, do I fuck? Tell us the Tic Tac anecdote again.
Oh, what a fucking useless bunch of cunts.